On this episode of the Waterfowl East Podcast, we have got Island Boy Paul Visor wearing MacKinnon.
The visor champion
of the world.
Wax Peaks.
Wax Peaks.
A lot of wind over there.
Big waterfowler, been in it a long time. It was a really good interview. We talked for like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. Talked about dogs, just the hunting scene on the island, his travels, his experiences, working with Fred Zink and some of the other people in the business, and just it was just a good conversation.
Yeah, Paul's a great guy. He's got no trouble talking. Conversation went on good, but again, like you said, he's got a lot of experience, eh? Yeah,
he does.
He's a great waterfowl hunter. You know,
been at it such a long time.
Yep, and
just
always
a rotten, musty old waterfowling bastard.
Yeah, just rotten and stinky.
Yeah. You can smell him from here.
But been involved in the business and the industry for a really long time.
Yeah.
So understands, what we would call the actual good days. The good old days, the DVD days.
We talked about the heydays of waterfowling in the Maritimes.
Yeah.
That was cool. Remember the old days of the shows and the calling contests and the dinners and just a lot of involvement. But it was a good podcast.
Things change, but it's definitely adapted with them, and still consistently shoots lots of birds.
Yeah.
Hunts a lot, spends a lot of time hunting, not just a weekend warrior.
Yep.
He definitely
trains dogs, runs a chassis.
Yep.
So he's got a screw missing in the head there somewhere.
Active in the Retriever Club.
Just joking. That's coming from a DD guy.
That's right.
So I just want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. Really appreciate the support. Benelli Shotguns. We have been just whomping the shit out of birds with these guns for 15 plus years, and they're the shit.
Hell yeah. Kent cartridge with a wide array of shotgun shells. Steel, bismuth, tungsten, all in one shop. That's one thing we really like about them. Late in the year, we want to shoot bismuth or tungsten. They have that option.
Big L silhouettes. Man, when the fat decoys aren't rolling, we throw out the skinnies.
Yep.
I mean, awesome to add to your spread just to change it up. They've been great. They've been super durable.
Pack a lot of decoys in a small area.
Yeah, if you can't take your truck in the field or anything like that, take a sled full of those and you got a massive spread in no time. Just all around good fellow to work with too. Great company.
Yeah, Al's a hell of a guy. Steiner Optics. We run Steiner Predators. Got them this year. Unbelievable 10x42s. We were running another brand, 12x50s. Those 10x42s are outstanding. The glass clarity on them for seeing things at distance was, it was really something, because here we can see a long distance. So, when it comes down to that last little bit of light, bit of
light, and if you're hunting these mountain geese. Steiner Optics. And Sitka gear. I mean,
we talk on every podcast about Sitka gear.
Pretty much. Like
we really do.
I mean, we're fanboys. I mean, we talked about it in this podcast with Polly, just being able to wear a limited amount of clothing and be warm, dry, and maneuverable. It's awesome. Like, long gone are the days of being soaking wet, frozen, ass cold, and bulked right up. Can't even shoulder your gun. It's just, Sitka gear is the shit.
Yeah. Built for hunters, for sure. And East Coast Calls, Maritime Call Company. Building quality calls for years and years and years.
Yep.
Originally started, by the way, by Glenn Gillespie.
Another island boy.
Glenn did a great job, and then we kind of resurrected it later on down the line. And so, yeah, if you're looking for a quality built,
if you're looking for any products, that's the thing about these sponsors. These sponsors are not just companies that we randomly approached hoping to get sponsored. These are companies that we choose, and we want to shoot. Like
we want to shoot.
We would rather pay
shells.
full price for these companies' products than get other companies' products for free. And that's the truth.
Yeah. These are all products that we use and that we're passionate about. I mean, we certainly wouldn't push people on to things that we didn't believe in. So
yeah, we believe in them, and I mean, I will sell it to the end.
Absolutely. So East Coast calls at the end. If you're looking for a quality built acrylic duck or goose call, reach out to us. Good. He's going to let it ring twice. He doesn't want to answer too quick.
No.
Oh, he's going to let it ring 3 times. It's just coming in over there.
How you doing?
There it is.
What are you doing letting the phone ring so many times?
I was turning down the TV, buddy.
Don't act like you're not sitting right on it.
I'm sitting right in my lazy boy with a blanket on.
There you go.
I see that. Fuck, that's a nice blanket.
That's a little Delta Waterfowl one. Got
Is that,
one of those
is that a
options
cardigan
there.
blanket?
Why am I getting
what the hell
feedback
is it?
here? Is that phone?
It's that stupid phone.
There we go. That's good.
Oh,
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
we can. Yeah, it's just we got a great big soundboard here, and there's
Oh, okay.
one connection when people have to call in.
Right.
Just that little connection from the phone to the board there. That cord, for some reason, if it's not set right, it has a little bit of feedback. So, but we're good now. You keep on talking.
Holy Jesus, boy, she's cold out.
Holy fuck! It must be just whipping over there, huh?
Well, you know where my new place is. Look, we're right on the top of the hill.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm at Maggie's, and the heat pump's on. It's starting to blink and half not work.
Yeah.
And I got 2 convection heaters on. And I bet you in the last hour it dropped 5 degrees in here.
They're fucking awesome, eh? Those heat
You wanna
pumps,
know-
especially in weather like this. Like, everybody's going to be freezing their dick off.
the heat pumps work good, but they start to shut down at a certain temperature.
Yeah, like now.
Yeah.
Well, they won't shut down. You're not. I was talking to my buddy who installed mine. He said, "Don't shut it down because then it'll freeze." Right?
Yeah.
He goes, "You just keep it up. It won't be near as efficient, and it won't throw as much heat, but it'll throw a little heat." And he goes, "Just turn on your convection heaters that you have there, the electric ones, and you'll be fine." So, people saying shut them down. Well, they freeze up, and mine's the outside compressors, of course, facing northwest where
Yeah.
the wind's blowing right on it right now. So
Yeah.
You want to know what I got in my basement that doesn't shut down? Is a wood
a
stove.
wood stove, no question.
a huge fisher. Like, you could probably put a 3-foot stick in this son of a whore.
Oh yeah.
That'll keep her rolling.
She burns a warm heat.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, it's
So you
definitely a
guys are
warm
real
heat.
cold over there too?
Huh?
You guys are real cold over there too, eh?
Yeah, I just got home here and it was minus 26 in the car.
Well, where we are, Paul, we're out in this area is pretty high up. Like, this is one of the highest points
Right.
in the whole county here, and it just fucking whips. I mean, there's lots of trees and stuff, but still, like,
Doesn't matter, yeah.
especially where I am, there's a little tree line there, but holy fuck, it was just whipping, man. You should see the drifts there
A
already.
little hardwood tree line that
Yeah.
would do too much.
No one can do too much, is it?
Yeah.
No.
You won't have to worry about the dogs fucking around too much in the morning, walking in and out.
No, old Memphis was walking on 2 feet out there. Tank, he didn't give a shit. He was out there just ripping. The neighbor's dog ran over the other day and brought some sort of football or something, had the end chewed out of it, and came over to take a shit in our yard and left the ball, which I thought was a good trade. If
That's
it's
a
going to
really
go
good
over and
trade,
shit in the
right?
yard,
Yeah.
at least it's going to leave the
Yeah.
dogs a toy. So they've been fucking just ripping around with that. It's great.
Piss sickle hanging right off the dick here.
Yeah, he
Wouldn't
wouldn't
bother fucking Tank a bit.
No, it wouldn't either, and he doesn't stop pissing on stuff long enough to let it freeze up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
God,
Exactly.
God love him. So, Paul, this is not live. Like, we just record this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay, so
Fucking door. Let's at her.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
we're recording.
We're recording now. Since we hit the button to call you, we've been talking.
Yeah,
and
we
recording.
recorded the phone ringing like 3 times.
Yeah. I said, he's going to let it ring twice, but
Yeah, you fooled us all,
Fooled us
Mr.
all.
Popular.
yeah.
Just fucking right off the bat.
Yeah. Hello.
I was talking to Coates, I was talking to Jeff Coates, and he said to say hi, boys.
Hey, yeah.
Hi, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's warmer there than here.
Yeah, well, it should be. Followed him all fall. I love his like day 50 60 or whatever, and he's out there. And sometimes the swells down there get pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Even in that great big boat.
Man, imagine being out in that big boat right now.
Yeah, well, that big boat's the world's biggest duck boat.
Yeah.
It's a fucking duck boat.
Yeah.
It's 30 feet.
Yeah, it's
right. It's not like you're in a lobster boat or a fucking, But,
it's fucking huge, and still you see it going up and down. And I think to myself, how many of these guys have actually been out on the water? Like,
I'd say there'd be some green fucking guys coming.
Man, he must keep like a case of gravel in the boat.
Well, the boys when I was in Nova Scotia this year, the boys were all talking about seasick pills.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's something you can get, I guess, like the pharmacy or something.
Yep, yeah, there's like a motion sickness pill or something, and they were talking about it. Because I don't know, the older I get, the more, like, I just find it easier to get motion sick for some reason. But I've never had any, just once out on the water did I have trouble. That was down in Rhode Island, but that was fucking rough.
Man, Jason, he gets it every time he goes out in a boat.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we'll go fishing for cod or mackerel or whatever, and geez, he used to. He wouldn't take a gravel or anything. Oh no, I'm good. And he'd be just barfing his guts out. You freaking donkey.
Never been motion sick because I'm not brave enough to go out if it's fucking bad. Lobster boat, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. I get that, man. The ocean up here is no joke.
Yeah, no. It's
like even in summertime, you fall in like. I mean, you can be in it for a while, but you can't be in it forever. So you're gonna friggin' get hypothermia.
It better be July and August, September. You're dropping in, especially over your guys' way, like Fundy and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh man, even in like August and the hottest day of the year, you get out past like tide level up to your waist there. Oh, geez, it's friggin' cold. Yeah. It stings.
No
hard on the giblets.
Fuck yeah.
They just tuck right in. They'll be fine.
Oh, do they ever? They go right into hibernation.
Right into the internal organs.
Yeah. You can hear it just. Shit. I'm out.
Yeah, just a little Vienna sausage hanging
down there now. He's sending me pictures. He's organizing the big barn dominium, like Pit Boss World Headquarters, and getting shit put away for the year and cleaned up. And
that spot down there, he called me here a little while ago randomly, and him and I talked about that, and he was talking about maybe doing some dog boarding, and I told him I thought it was a great idea that he'd make a mint off of it if he had somebody to run it.
Well, that's just it, right? Like I think they're just looking at all options at this point because that new building gives them tons of options, right, to do.
So did he sell his house and he's going to live in that?
Yeah, well, they haven't sold it yet, but
that's what the plan is, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big.
They had the Amish guys or whatever, Chris and them come in and they basically got everything closed in, and like it looks done on the outside.
Yeah.
But now they got to work on the inside, right? So things have slowed down a little bit and a little frustrating, I think, for them. And we're doing the same thing. We're building the spec house over here after the hurricane. Like we're just getting back to getting out of here, right?
Right.
Half finished, sitting over there, pretty near closed in, and it's frustrating.
Man,
but, he'll move in there, and I think, like he'll have his decoy caravan, and they got 1,500 or 2,000 square feet of living space.
That's all you need.
1,000 square feet of a building, like just massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Man, that hurricane sure did some damage over there. Holy shit. And PEI.
I woke up that morning. I was worried about the spec house, right? Because it was basically sheathed up, but no windows. Thankfully, there was no windows or nothing in it.
It's probably the only thing that saved it.
Everything blew through, right?
Yeah.
And I get up at 5:30, and Stacy wouldn't even you're not going over there. I said, okay. So the dogs wanted out. I went to let the dogs out, and it was the weirdest sound. It was like nothing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like it was like you hear when there's a tornado or something in a movie.
Yeah.
Like a fucked up hum.
No doubt.
And honest to God, the dog went outside. Like Maggie now, God bless her, blind as a bat, and coming to the end, right, with the diabetes and all that stuff, beating the shit out of her and the insulin. And she took 2 steps out, pissed right on the deck, and turned around and come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even Jax just got to the grass, pissed, looked around. It was just like, and both of them had to go, shit.
Yeah.
So I had to take them out the other side of the house, which wasn't as bad. And they just basically went out the front door and shit in the driveway and come right back in. They were both terrible.
Good thing wind would just blow it right away.
Yeah. Pretty much over there.
Yeah, it was wild. I saw pictures there of places like just completely flattened. Unreal.
Yeah, like there's places like, like Rustico Resort and the Hebrides, which is sort of like a waterfront subdivision over in New London.
Yeah.
Just decimated, right?
Really?
That's over right where Glenn lives, isn't it? New London?
Yeah, New London. So,
yeah.
Right over by Glenn's, actually, right?
Yeah.
Right out of that little creek that runs out of the mouth of Glenn's subdivision. The Hebrides out is the next subdivision.
The next one, yeah.
And, like, there was 8 cottages gone or something, and they've never found 4 of them. So they're out in the bay somewhere, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, so they'll be run over by lobster boats and mussel boats probably this spring.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like I've never seen anything like it. Just basically shut everything down for 2 months. Like you didn't do nothing.
Yeah. Right? So what about the big sand dune that sticks out? You can see it from Glenn's house, like barely. Like, did it just completely make that thing disappear?
No, I don't think so. Like the sand dune's resilient, eh? Like they change every day.
Yeah, they do.
So if you got 7 or 8 days of north winds and big tides. A lot of sand can get back in on top of them, right? So they don't really talk a whole. It's more where there's cliffs and sandstone and stuff that really take a beating.
Yeah, because that doesn't come back.
It just sort of blows them over on top of each other a lot of time too, right? Like
it
blows in, sands on the other side of the dune, and time it gets big, it goes to the other side. But they're pretty resilient. But there's a lot. We had a cottage we managed down in Savage Harbor. Roof was gone, full of sand and water, and hit the neighbor 2 or 3 doors down. Like, lost his tile field and his septic tank gone.
Really?
Jeez, over septic tank.
It looked like it was 100 feet out off. You know how big a septic tank is.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, gone.
Jeez.
And they're fighting with him, saying, "Well, you're not supposed to backfill in again, right?"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, the environment would have a great time with that.
Fine. That's fine. You find me.
Yeah.
And he just started hauling shale back in and trying to put his septic in, but none of that's covered by insurance, right? When the water does it, it's an act of God.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So people lost their cottages. Unfortunately, shit out of luck.
That's brutal.
Well, it's crazy. Like there was one lady there that had a picture of what her cottage looked like from the driveway out towards the water. And then it was like, I don't know how much land had eroded, but it was a lot right up to her deck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys, are you familiar with Cove Head, where Cove Head Harbor is over in Brackley, by Brackley Beach?
Yeah.
Well, from Cove Head Harbor to the other end, sort of down to Dalby by the sea and Dalby Beach, if you're going east, like that road still shut down because basically it blew right through the sand dunes.
Jeez.
And right to the road and started taking the road out.
Oh, right. Frig.
Yeah, I heard the sand dunes there took a beating.
Yeah, there's lots of natural runs there that come in off the ocean through the dunes into ponds there, right?
Right.
So wherever those natural runs were, and they just piled in there like unbelievable, wiping stuff out. But anyway,
talking about that, did you find that hurricane changed your waterfowl hunting at all?
Unbelievable.
It did, really?
Well, like this year was like, we can all say, oh, it was a great year, lots of birds around, but I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen that day when Jeff did that. We were here at Maggie's on that Sunday afternoon, and Junior sent a video of that one field, the Field of Dreams. Now, Junior is like Dr. Goose, right? Calm as a cucumber, but he is nothing is left. There's not a detail he doesn't think of every day for 4 months. And he called us, he sent this video to us, and he goes, "Boys, I've seen 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 geese, maybe. I thought in one of my fields, there's 10,000 geese in this field. If there's one.
Frig.
Yes, sir.
That's a jag.
And, it was only like, I don't know, 30-acre field.
Wow.
You couldn't put a fucking goose in.
Filled right to the corners.
Right to the corners. And on that morning, the first morning we shot it, and it was corn, but it was just yellow cobs still. And they just get under and overseed it with winter wheat.
Right.
And it was, all you see was niblets and cobs everywhere. And they stripped the green right out of it.
Yes, sir. Well, that many geese, it wouldn't take long.
Oh, frig, yeah. They
No,
clean
it's
that.
like unbelievable. Yeah.
That'd be like watching the snow geese in the fields.
That's exactly right.
Makes it disappear.
Yeah, except the upside of it is usually, depending on when they get it, that'll come back because the geese are just eating the tops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really rooting them up, but 3-4 days later, the junior called me again. He goes, "Have you been up by the dairy today?" And I said, "No." He goes, "Go have a look at that." And I said, "Well, were you over in South and see any of my stuff?" He goes, "No." And I said, "Well, you wouldn't fucking believe it." So we figured there was 15,000 geese in the dairy, and behind the dairy is probably 250 acres, 300 acres, and like the middle of it was just black.
Holy frig.
Oh, I said, so we drove over, and I had 3 fields with at least 4,000 or 5,000 in each field.
Wow.
That's a lot of birds.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, and that wasn't the pond and Hunter River had 3,000. They were going to another field that up the road that we didn't have, and there's still geese in Cavendish. There's geese over in New London Bay around Glens, and it was just like we're going, and it's just like it never stopped. Right?
Yeah, we don't have birds like that here. Not those kind of numbers, that's for sure.
I feel too like that side of the world, like that side of our province, had a really good year this year.
Yeah.
Like the eastern side of New Brunswick had a really stellar year. Like I don't think they had geese like we do. I think if they're on that side, a lot of times they're just going to scale over to you guys. But they still had a fucking solid year over there.
Yeah.
And we had a great year until that hurricane.
Yeah.
That really dicked us hard here.
Yeah, see, with us, we were in between, right? So we were in between our early and our regular season when that hit. And I think, of all the guys in our group, there's only a couple of fields cut before the hurricane.
Oh, okay.
Everything else got cut after, and it was just like nothing I've never ever seen. Like for corn on the ground, like I had one field there, it was about 80 acres. We had 1,000, 1,100 black ducks in it for 2 months.
Holy cow.
That's another thing. We had a ton of ducks here this year.
Yeah. Compared to the last 5 years.
Like so many ducks.
Yeah.
Unreal.
And it wasn't just us, right? Like you go up the Summerside and talk to them, they said there's just tens of thousands of geese up there. The boys down east, now they got theirs a little later, down around Earnscliffe, like Reed Lee and Josh Lee and those guys.
Oh, yeah.
And the bachelors and stuff. And they, by the end of the year, they had 25 or 30,000 geese supposedly down in Earnscliffe.
Yeah, they always shoot them late down there, eh? Is it that they have them all, or you guys just don't hunt that late?
No, well, it's just different geese, right? They're those geese aren't our geese, and vice versa. Like we're sort of central, and we would used to be 10, 12 years ago, we'd lose all our geese. There'd only be 5 or 6 cornfields around here, right?
Yeah.
And you always had to have barley for the first month, and then you had to have silage, and then your grain corn and kernel corn wasn't cut till well into November, 1st of December.
Right.
And now corn's changed everything. Like, everybody's got corn, and there's planting corn in the crop rotation, and like we counted like 90 cornfields in our area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And all of them just full of corn. And they get into some areas and they just stayed. And we lost. Geez, we never shot many geese. We still had we shot lots of ducks in December, and we had 8 or 10 good goose hunts, but nothing like October, November, because we lost them all to one big field.
I remember you guys were crushing them when we were done, the geese, We
yeah,
were
like it was.
we were like, we should message Paul and see if we can come over for a hunt. I'm not ready to be done.
Anytime, like, and you can't, and it's funny, you can't run traffic here. Like, you just can't.
Not here really either. It's super
You-
tough.
Yeah.
Like, we tried one day, you put hundreds and hundreds out, and you're right under them. And what happens is we're so goddamn flat here.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get those first 3 or 4 flocks, and they're going, well, flock 4 looks up and sees all flock 1, 2, 3, 4.
They just shoestring right out.
They just go, and you can be under them, and you can have, like, we're not world-class callers by any means, but we hide well, and we can all call decent, and
Right.
making lots of noise, and you put flappers out there, and you try this and you try that, and after about 20 flocks, you just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just get the trucks, right? Like, why bother, right? Because you're not getting them, right?
Yeah.
Man, they see those other flocks up ahead going, they're gone. Like,
For miles,
it doesn't matter.
right?
It doesn't matter who you are.
And we try it like every year. We always try to be on the X if we can, and but we try it a little bit every year, usually a couple times a year, and it's always tough, and you do have to get right underneath them, and you damn near got to surprise them.
That's the only way. Like, we're lucky. We have the most amazing group of guys. Like, just
Second most amazing group of guys.
yeah,
Come
well,
on.
true. Yeah.
Thank you, Wesley.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's say on PEI we have the most amazing group of guys.
There
Okay,
you go.
that's fair enough. Yeah,
That's fair enough. That's good.
We'll give you that.
good deal.
And we got 7 or 8 guys have all the land, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We're lucky that we're shooting tendon fields basically every day.
Yeah, and I mean that's like us 98% of the time, and
Yeah.
I mean sometimes I'm envious of the fact that you guys have your spots, and
Yeah, not having to worry about losing fields.
yeah, but our area here, even if we did want to do that, is so different. It's so sprawled out and spread out.
Yeah.
And mountainous. Well, we're from the bottom of our range to the top of our range that we typically hunt. It's an hour drive. And I mean, there are places we hunt that's even further than an hour, but if you were to jump in a car and go from the southern part of our range to the northern part, it'd be about an hour drive.
So that'd be about the length of the island.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, no question, or at least half the
Yeah.
island.
And it's all mountainous and there's trees in here. And,
We're in our fields, max 15 minutes.
yeah. Like friggin' PEI, I mean, you can watch your dog run away for 3 days. Stand in a tuna can, you can watch him run away for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it still didn't get to the bridge. For about
Yeah,
6.
exactly.
But we're lucky that way. But you still, when you get 7 or 8 guys, and everybody's got 8, 10 fields, and
Oh yeah, shit.
you
Yeah.
still got to watch and stuff. But like I said, we just have an amazing group, and we got 3 or 4 spots. We run traffic certain times of year, and it's 99% surprising them.
Yeah.
We're just on the crest of a hill where we know they're coming up out of a pond,
Yeah.
or we know they're cutting back through here and they're going to come over this tree line. There's going to be, oh fuck,
You call that the shocker. It's like,
yeah, the shocker.
they're just
And-
out headed to the fields like, oh, geez, look at that.
Come from, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but this year, it was so different. It was just I've never seen anything. I hope it's great because there's still a pile of birds here.
Mm.
Probably be gone after this, right? Gone now, I think. I don't think they go too fucking far.
I don't
Yeah,
think so
I
either.
don't think so.
Rowan,
Open water.
Rowan was asking me the other day, he's like, how far do they go, Dad? Like, when Sean Stahl was here, he's like, where's your birds come from? I'm like, well,
Who really knows?
we have an idea. Like,
We got an idea.
We have an
That's what it
idea
is.
that, just through some of the ones we've killed that were banded over the years, a lot of them have been from Maine. Like, they didn't get banded too far away, but some of them have come from Labrador, which, okay, so that makes sense. But definitely when we're shooting, and you guys are getting them too, when we're shooting, specks and barnacles, and we're seeing pink-footed geese here. Like, we saw another one this year. We just couldn't get it to come close enough.
Yeah.
That, as far as the bird watchers go, there's been one of those reported. That was 5 years ago they saw one. And they were like,
Yeah.
that's the first one ever recorded in New Brunswick. And then
Really?
all of a sudden, people started shooting them around, like on the island and here. And we had those 4 or 5 barnacles come through here that time. And I mean, like that stuff doesn't, that's not from here. That's from Europe,
Oh yeah, for sure. And we've had them here for the last 10 or 15 years. Like we shot a pink-footed on my wife's family's farm, 15 years ago, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And barnacle shot up there. It's always the odd speck. But, in the last, then we had those, right?
Yeah.
Getting them coming from Greenland and being, neck collared and banded and by the Zoological Society of Norway or wherever it was. So here, more. I should say there's more weird stuff around, but there's more birds around. There's just
definitely. I mean, like it's changed. How long have you been hunting on PEI, Paul?
I
1903.
Yeah, I'm 55 in May, and I killed my first goose when I was 9 with a bolt action 410 in Darnley on the North Shore with my dad in the pit blind.
Yes,
with
sir.
A 410. So 45 years. And,
yes, sir.
You go through the spells where you have family and kids. You can't hunt as much, and you can't train dogs. You can't do that. But the last probably since I started my company, basically hunt every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's I can flexible enough that I can change meetings or I don't schedule any.
So how old are you now anyway?
I'm 55 in May.
You musty old shit.
Yeah.
55.
Must be ready to retire.
That's
maturity
good.
level.
That's
19.
good. Yeah, same here. I'm 10 years behind you, but maturity levels
Way
non-existent.
down there. Yeah, way down there.
Way down.
Just a number, but
it is, yeah. Except for first thing in the morning when you jump out of bed and you're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. I tell you, it's September's good, and then you get a little break, and get through October, and then when it starts getting cold, you're getting up there every fucking morning. It's like, oh fuck.
What time of day do you guys get up to go hunting over there? Like you guys are hunting leased fields mostly, aren't you? Or all totally?
Hunting what? Sorry.
Leased fields.
Well, they're leased, or we just have.
Or you just have exclusive permission, or.
Yeah, like a lot of it's different. Like like Junior stuff. He's worked on that farm since he was 12.
Yeah.
Right. 55 this year.
Holy.
And so, 3 or 4 of my farms are great friends of mine. So, their flower beds, or we clean their house, or whatever. Right. There's farms we get and do nothing, and like we, there's very little cash.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Is that, and this is something that this is a great thing about this not being live, like, and we can kind of mark this and cut this out if we need to, but is that like here to lease land for the purpose of hunting, it's illegal. Is it not illegal there?
No, it's not. Or Nova Scotia.
Huh.
No.
Strange.
Outfitters spend like tens of thousands of dollars on land. And like
and they fucking don't shoot anything.
Yeah, and you don't gotta cut this out. But this area here, like where I live, sort of Cavendish, Mayfield, North Rustico area, used to be probably the top area for goose hunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I gave 2 fucking cents for a field in Cavendish right now.
Really?
No geese, right? Well, there's no corn up there, right? The only corn would be on either my wife's family farm or the next farm over, basically. Like very little corn here.
Right.
Now I'm talking, you drive 4 miles down the road and it's all corn.
Right.
5 miles down the road to New Glasgow, right?
Yeah.
And South Rustico and Oysterbend. It's like full of corn. And what's happened was the outfitters just every field, every day, all day, they just push the birds out of here.
Yeah.
And there was zero management, and like we pride ourselves on managing our field.
Sure.
And rarely do we shoot 2 in a row. Like that Field of Dreams, we shot 2 in a row because the farmer asked us to shoot to get them the fuck out of there.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just they just left there and went to another one of our fields. So it wasn't like we were real worried about where the hell they were going to go. But we made a concerted effort to get in beside every outfitter and basically run them the fuck out of town.
So, but even still, like, I mean, A lot
There's
of
no
it,
here now. None.
Are there many outfitters on the island at all anymore? Like, I never hear of it.
There's 3, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's
Hunter's Chance.
yeah, and then
Point
old time
View.
outfit fucking that gargoyle fucking George, what's his name?
And people still, like, they'd be booked solid. Like, I know a lot of guys from Newfoundland and Nova Scotia that hunt there, and they'll go. A few of my clients that have been coming for a long time now went to PEI 2 years in a row, sat in fields all day long, all day, okay?
I never shot fuck off.
And shot 18 geese in 2 years. So 6 full days of hunting, they shot 18 geese.
That's outstanding.
The only outfitter you want to go would be Point View, and be Josh and Craig and David. Well, I don't know if Dave guides anymore, but Craig Bachelor guys, like those guys down there, like they're all hunters, they're all killers, they're all great callers.
Yep.
Got great land down there, they manage it, right?
Yeah.
Obviously they manage it because the birds are still there and they're growing every year.
Yeah,
right?
they're shooting them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're shooting them. So, and the thing about Summerside, the birds stay in Summerside because there's all kinds of areas now that they used to be able to hunt inside the city limits and stuff, which all sort of came to a stop.
Okay.
And so they can, and plus you get huge water on either side of them. So, and they move around. So it still holds birds up there. But like you said, the outfitters up there they're just there. They're just there. And, like you said, you want to go with those guys this day and age. They haven't evolved. They haven't evolved with their gear.
That's the problem.
They haven't evolved with their calling. They haven't evolved. They just throw pits in fields at whatever, and that's it.
And you guys don't hunt pits at all, eh, Paulie?
No, we don't. We don't have any pits. We haven't. We shoot at A-frames. Like, there's a couple of young guys in our group, like Gav McAleer and Matty Dixon, those guys. So, David Moore.
Yeah.
Stevie Dixon has a big field up here, just up the road from our place, and the geese hit it late all the time. And we were in there last year, and it's a fucking tough. Hard to get on the hedge. It's hard to really, the way it's laid out, it's hard to even hide the A-frames out on it when it's corned. Even if you're corned up, great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the toughest field to hunt I've ever seen. So the boys get in the layouts, and we're shooting them last year. It's the first time we were in layouts since 2011.
Yeah, I bet. I couldn't. We were talking there the end of hunting season. I said, I can't remember the last time I laid on the ground.
No.
Because we hunted the edges with no blinds for a long time.
Yep. May built her own.
Yeah. And now with the, like, listen, you have your blinds, your A-frames grassed up properly, and you know how to use the sun to your advantage and shadows, and you hide them, get in low spots, have a hill on the background, whatever you're given in that certain field. It's like you're not there.
Yeah.
Like, and I can remember, like, we prototyped them when we filmed with Fred and Tootsie in 2010 for AVNX TV, and he wanted to shoot them in the middle because he wanted to try that.
Right.
Right. And that was part of his mindset, was like, get back out in the middle and not be.
And they've never stopped doing that out west. Like, that's just what they do out there. And I don't know, like, if possibly the advantage is that there's just so many. And I know guys, plenty of guys, but like the old way of doing it and the way that they still do it is blinds in the middle with popple trees around them. Yeah. Like, and they just crush them.
Those birds, like, you're talking millions of birds, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're bound to find 50 dumb ones out of that many.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no question, right?
They just play the numbers game.
Yeah, and over here, we're sort of competing with ourselves, to be honest.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of other people. Like, if we have a real good field, we got everything around us. Nobody's going to be in the side of us, or we just won't take it, right? And as pressured as they were, like, we can still fire them out in the middle, and if they're grassed properly, it's like, what is it now? Like 11, so what, 12, 13 years later?
Yeah.
Seasons later, and still works.
Yeah.
So, until we start seeing, like, we never really hunted silos before. We always had, 200, 300, 400 flocked avians. And, we started last year. They just weren't doing what as easy as they were. And, we sat down and having drinks one night and, we're talking, we're going, they're onto us, right? They're seeing the same fucking 300 flocked avians every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Right?
definitely have to have an arsenal. I have, I don't know, just over 40 dozen silhouettes in the trailer all the time. And with a sled in there, so that in case we get to a spot, we got to drag them out or whatever. If we take them out into the field, they're in that sled, and man, you can put a shitload of decoys out in a short time. And regardless of the weather, sometimes whether it's going to be flat out sun, bluebird day, whatever. Like if we feel like we need to use them, we just put a shitload out.
Yeah. And the boys started collecting dive bombs there last year, and I think we got 800 in our group. And we put them out a couple times, and, one day they did it really good, and other days they didn't. We had one field there. I had 4,000 geese in a tendon field, and we put out, I don't know, 20 dozen or something, all flocked head dive bombs and fully flocked dive bombs. And our closest shot was 60 yards to shoot our.
Yes, sir.
Right, so they come in, and they weren't flaring. You know how they just take that whip around again and come look, and something's just not right. So we're double checking the blinds, and you start second guessing yourself, and we went back the next day and put out 4 dozen lessers and fucking smashed them.
Right.
Funny how that works.
And we went back the next day with a small rig just to show them something different.
Yeah.
Right, just okay.
Those lessers are fucking dynamite, man. I love those.
Best fucking thing, man, since A-frames.
Yeah. I love those lessers. I was talking to John Christiani this year. I said I want some of those, but so he's going to check into it.
A disaster.
What's that?
I said it's a disaster getting product.
Oh, man, the shipping on stuff. I don't know how he's going to do it.
Well, he won't, right? Unless things change, because a container cost went from $5,000 to $35,000.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I'm like, how do you make money?
Who's going to fucking buy them? How's he going to make money, and who's going to buy them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you and 5 other people in New Brunswick and us lunatics in our group would buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not worth his while to bring them in.
No.
It's like, that's why no dealers carry heavy metal anymore.
Right.
Right? And it's like last year, a year and a half ago, our buddy Glenn Cullicutt there from Glenn's Ammo said, boys, buy up your ammo. It's not going to be good. So I think I bought 13 cases of mostly heavy metal, bismuth, and everything over the last year. I just find it somewhere and say, okay, you got that? Yeah, it's been sitting here for 3 years. Okay, I'll buy all of it. How much?
Yeah.
I was getting it for like $33 a box, $35 a box.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Right now, $65 a box. Bismuth is $85 a box.
Bismuth isn't it funny, the evolution of bismuth? Because, I mean, if you were going to get bismuth not even that long ago, it came, one of the years I was in Ontario, I bought a case of Kent bismuth, 16 gauge, and it came in boxes of 10.
Oh, yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, we can sell everybody's selling it in boxes of 25, right?
Yeah. Like, and then the old tungsten matrix, that stuff was fucked wicked.
Yeah.
Those 3/4 inch ones would train wreck shit at 60 or 65 yards for a joke.
It's good stuff. We still shoot it.
Yeah. Glenn's got some for me. He hasn't got back over here in the last couple of years of COVID and all the shit going on, but he'll be over this year. But like that's all I shoot later on. Like we get, as soon as it gets cold over here and windy and cold, I switch to, exclusively heavy metal or bismuth. It just performs better, right?
It does.
Yeah,
right?
you need that. And I really honestly think there's something to be said for a heavier pellet that's
Smaller.
smaller
Yeah.
later in the year. I don't know. I don't know if that's like just a maritime thing or what, but
No, I think you're bang on. I think you look at those guys now, like you look at Vandemore and those guys, what they're shooting.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
They're shooting flex 4 and 6s at geese.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
and
they're
crushing
like
them.
two and crushing them, which are like 2s and BBs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2s and BBs in steel are way lighter, and and they may be 1550 when it's 25 degrees out, but they ain't 1550 and got knockdown power when it's fucking 0 and blowing.
Yeah.
And so, like it's funny, one of the young fellas, and he's a stone cold killer bones. And he's one of the guys that sort of grew up with us, shooting with us right from 12 on now. And, I was teasing him about shooting the cheap stuff. I said, holy fuck, man, like we got tens of thousands of dollars in Sitka gear and decoys and trailers and spend more than that in gas every year. And you're worried about a fucking box of shells.
I know. Yeah, it's like building a race car and then just pulling into the Irving and putting regular fuel in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motor in it. Like, it's just like, people, it doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, to each their own, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. To each their own. But after a while, when I mean, you'll instantly be frustrated if you're hitting them and they won't go down.
You'd know quite. And we sort of tested there a few years back where it's just, okay, boys, you guys shoot this, steel, and we'll shoot fucking heavy metal or heavy shot or something and see the difference, right? Now, if they're decoying, you're still knocking them down.
Yeah.
They're running around, they're fucking jumping and flying away. You got cripples and sailors and everything, where the other ones are just in a pool of blood dead.
They're fucking dead.
Yeah.
And that's really what you want. And you notice that, like, if you're the guy with the dog and people are, the dog's bringing them back and they've got that great big puddle of blood on the side of their head when the dog brings them back and they're just oozing, like, those ones got beat up out there. They're not out there running around or running from the dog. Like they
were dead before they hit the ground.
They got clubbed, yeah. And that's what you want. I mean, nobody wants them out there running around or suffering in any way. Like, we want to shoot them and get them down, be done.
No question. And how many shells are you using to shoot cripples and walk it, have to jump them because they're flying away? And I think if you look at the whole picture of it, you can shoot regular steel for September and October, no question, right?
Yeah.
No, it's evolved and it's great shell for that stuff. You want to get to later on and you're freezing your fucking arse off, and it's, you're sick and you're tired and you're exhausted. It's the end of November because you're hunting every fucking day and scared 3 hours a day. I don't give a shit if I have to pay $30 extra a box. Right? And maybe that's me. It's not, somebody said, oh, you're just showing off. I'm not fucking showing off. I said, I put a lot of time and effort into this.
You're a lot more deadly as far as killing power, a lot less flocks of birds to get your limit, and a lot less bullets shot. Not whacking cripples. So
you're shooting bismuth or tungsten or heavy metal tungsten. Like, heavy metal went to bismuth for the last few years, and they're going back to tungsten. Be interested to see. They'll probably be $100 fucking a box this year.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. We'll be lucky to have any ammo up here again.
Yeah, like, that's why, like, I had 13 half case. I still have 10 cases in my fucking thing because you couldn't get it anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't get it, right? And if you want to, like, when I worked for Heavy Shot, you still had to order basically a pallet or 20, because you worked for them too, didn't you, Matty? Like, you had to order 20 cases or 18 cases or something, right? But that was fine. A lot. 50 a case, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a big. Now it's like, what would it be, 600 in some case?
Oh, geez, yeah. It would be a lot of money, and I mean, I think it took a real dive there. Like, people quit carrying it, and it was hard to get, and then it just kind of went way downhill here. Yeah. Like, it was the shell to shoot. I mean, we went. How many cases we get that time? We went to the gun dealer. 20.
I think it was around 20. A lot.
That's probably because I think you had to bring 20 cases in to get free shipping dropped off. and I was able to get it. It had to be dropped off at like a commercial location, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't be dropped off at my house. So I got it dropped off at my shop.
Yeah.
And that's when we, when it was working for them. But now, like, they don't even talk to anybody anymore.
No.
There's no distributor. There's no nothing.
No. It just went. It's almost like they put a big push on there, and then all of a sudden just fell right off the map. I mean, you look at things like as far as marketing goes, like Boss shotgun shells. Holy shit, they've really had a big push on. They've got that in the hands of the right people, and no different than Dive Bomb. I mean, they really market the shit out of themselves, right?
That's the key now is marketing. Just market, and then you're the next best thing.
Well, it's just like, and historically, that like you look at foils and zinc and R&T 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
When they were, and Duck Commander, right?
Yeah.
Those were the ones that just, and foils really sort of, I think, started it with marketing of himself and his calls. And,
oh, definitely. He had a brand there. There was lots of guys that hated foils, but I'll tell you something, like foil. Yeah, I mean, foil. Look what he did. I mean, geez, he made a real good living off of what he was doing.
Yeah.
Well, for a while, for sure.
Yeah.
He did for a while. That's for fucking sure. But yeah, that's a shame because you know what I mean. He'd be like the rest of them, set for life, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think he's still probably going to shows and trying to sell calls to make money, to fucking live. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, for sure. I don't know what I don't know if he ended up selling that. Did he not? Like Rock Outdoors or something like that.
Yeah. He's back to just foils, migrators or whatever now. And not sure what's going on. I don't follow him or.
No, you don't see his name out there much.
You don't see him too much.
Time here or there, you'll see him out.
He lays pretty low, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's, but you do see that he's back at shows and doing stuff but Dive Bomb and Boss and, some of these, companies have really,
just come out of nowhere.
They're the new guys, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to know what their marketing budgets are.
Oh.
I'd like
to.
You
know what? When you look, I think social media does 90% of it for them. You think?
I think it does too, and I don't think you'd have to spend too much money on that. And I think the other thing is too, is they're not afraid to like get that gear in the hands of the right people, right? Mm-hmm. Just like sending it out to guys,
Yeah.
They
market themselves well to the younger generation, definitely.
That's do right, and you get those guys on board, and then everybody's on social media. So all of a sudden, Wesley's got 3,000 friends, and Maddie's got 3 or 4, and Polly's got 3 or 4, and this guy's got 2 or 3, a couple of shares, and a couple of this and that, and everybody's chatting. So imagine there's thousands of people doing it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think like the old days, like sort of those days of print marketing and wildfowl, like they're still relevant.
Yeah.
But, like TV shows, very few of them have TV shows anymore. There's no money in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you got big money like an R&T or Duck Unlimited and the Fowl Life. Like they're, those guys are backed by huge money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're still like, we had that conversation the other day. But there's still a lot of value in that, especially in the States.
Well, especially since YouTube, Instagram, and like TikTok and all these social media and sharing platforms, they're really starting to restrict any kind of content with guns or hunting in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like we've definitely seen it on our side. Well, all the waterfowl YouTube channels, you look at the reviews per video and it's terrible.
Oh,
like
really?
Compared to what it used to be, it's brutal.
Yeah.
They're all being censored.
Yeah, like everybody's being censored, right? We all know that.
Yeah, 100%.
If it's not fucking cool,
yeah.
Right? Or you're not fucking blowing Justin, you're fucking
right.
You're a racist or you're a sexist or you're a fucking lunatic or
yeah.
Right. Yeah, if you've got anything to do with guns, or you're saying anything about guns nowadays on those platforms, I mean,
You've got to cater to the granola eating hipsters nowadays.
Instagram is still pretty wild. I mean, I don't know what you could put on Instagram that they would. Well, all they do is they just put a thing on it before.
But it's hard to grow, though.
Sensitive content.
But it's hard to get growth.
It's hard to grow
compared to a little while ago.
The algorithm, I think, wants you to be doing scandalous things.
Yeah.
Wants you to be naked, you know.
Well, in the early season, I guess we can hunt naked.
Yeah.
Or underoos.
For an episode.
Yeah.
A YouTube episode.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do, boys, to make that money.
I don't know why I could easily picture Wesley walking around in the fucking G-string.
Yeah.
That'd be the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could too, actually.
We'll put that on our Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon.
Both of us. We'll just wear our Sitka vests and we'll get some nice visors too.
Yeah.
Fucking nice. Like some good ones. Like those Canadian Tire ones.
We're gonna flood we'll flood the island if we do that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You better build a house on a hill.
Yeah. But no, like Dive Bomb, I think Dive Bomb right now is sort of leading the pack. They got her figured out. And we got their decoys, and I bought their blind this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking blind's the next level up.
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
I'm not giving like it's bigger. It's higher. Still hides in the hedge well, but we didn't have another one, right? Nobody else had one
right
to try the middle. It has to be a good fucking foot higher than the A.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'm getting another one, and a couple of the other guys are going to pick them up when they're back in stock. But we want to try them out in the middle, see if they hide just as good as an A-frame, right?
They've got a lot of gear, man. Like when you look at it, it's almost like they're gonna become like an Avery.
They're gonna go to everything, and they like that blind, Matty, like 5 guys in it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Comfortable. Yeah.
Wow.
So do they have lids over them?
No.
Man, I'll tell you, those Tangle Frees with the lids, that is the shit.
I bought the G blind, the avian one.
Yeah.
Not a good deal on a windy day. Put it that way.
Really? We never had any issues, did we?
No, not once. Not with ours. I don't know. I guess in Ontario, I hunted out of an A-frame, an actual A-frame.
Yeah.
But everybody here, like before we had the Tangle Freeze, we had all tans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a huge open hole over top of them there. You always had to stack stuff over the in between guys and whatnot. But the lids on those Tangle Freeze are deadly.
That's a big step forward.
Especially
there.
when you're running guys, like when you're guiding or whatever, or you got buddies that don't want to keep their head down or whatnot. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like being in a.
Oh, you got guys with bright colored shotgun shell boxes. There's plastic wrappers, or granola bars, or water balls, or silver coffee mugs, and
just
Tim
stuff.
Right?
That shit stands out.
Yeah, that's why, like the avians. That's why I still. If somebody said, "Oh, you got to throw the rest of your shit out," which blind do you got to keep? I keep the Avian X one because the top is so. If it's grassed in properly, it fucking hides everything.
Yeah.
And people can move their heads around and whatever. It still should be hidden if it's grassed properly.
Right.
I'd like to see the other reason we bought the dive bomb one. The thing I like is just unhook 2 fucking pins and it's a 25-foot panel blind.
Huh.
Right? It just unfolds.
Wow.
25 panel blind.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that, like we've got panel blinds, obviously, but the, just to have that option, right?
Yeah.
Most of our hedges and stuff, like we still want to be inside some sort of A-frame and hidden, right?
Yeah.
And, there's some places we can get in and just, put the panels up and, where you're in under trees and, woods and stuff like that. But yeah, like I think you'd like the dive bomb one.
So you mostly always hunt the edge, eh? You don't generally get out in the middle?
No, we're out in the middle quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'd say it's 70-30.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
All depends. Like we got some big fields. Like the Dairy's a huge field.
Yeah, that's like here, eh? Our fields are big.
Yeah, like the dairy's huge, right? But we have some fields that, like there's one field there where when Damien was here a couple of years ago, that field, like it's just a field you really can't hunt the hedge.
Right.
They're not coming to those hedges. The way that field lays out, they're always going to these two spots. So in those two spots, there's two really big dips. So depending on the wind, you're just getting that dip. As long as you're corned up properly, like you're good. And in the dairy, like we get on, there's green driveways, and we get on them with the A-frames and green them up with green grass. And there's a picture there. If you go through our photo, but there's one there, like you look at the blinds, I think there's 3 of them in a row, and they're all grassed up and greened up, and it's just like, fuck.
Disappear.
Good. Yeah. Like we're shooting out front in a disc cornfield, and behind us was a bean field, and we're just on a grass lane.
Right.
But the grass blended in perfect with the beans behind us, and the green I remember just going out with Jackson, picking up geese and coming back in with Junior, and look at that. I said, holy fuck, like you can't even see that.
Just magical.
Yeah, like the sun, the way that lane is, it's perfect. You get sun till noon.
Yes, sir.
Right in your fucking face. So, they're not seeing that blind. There's not a shadow there till probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were gone home at 8:30.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, 70-30, Matty, 80-20, but we have no problem to go and get out in the fucking middle if we have to.
Right.
It'll depend on the field, but a lot of our fields are smaller, like compared to what you guys shoot.
Right.
Like we don't got, anything overly massive. Like Patty Leclerc's got some big ones up in Bedeck where, luckily they pile manure piles in good spots and stuff we can sort of get up next to and hide a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're probably, it's probably 80% of the time we're on the edge.
Yeah, we've been hunting out in the middle a lot, and one of the things that we started doing was drilling holes in the ground and putting trees out in front of us and around us, like not leaning them up against the blind, but actually making
stood up looking like grown trees.
Like a hedgerow, yeah.
We still have a lot of fields with rock piles in them just because there's so damn many rocks here, so it's common to see that kind of thing out in the field randomly.
Yeah. See, our field, we don't usually see anything like that.
Oh, you guys don't have a rock on the island.
Yeah,
you guys probably have to import rocks.
Well, and no question, right? Like, we got sandstone here and stuff, but every time they plow stuff under, they're hauling rocks out, right? And they're in the woods somewhere or in a hedge. So the Jackson's got his eye on something here outside. What is it, Jackson? Nothing out there, lunatic. Relax.
Tell him to go kill it and bring her back.
It's just windy, eh? He's just, what's that noise? What's that? Fucking. But yeah, no, we have, it's so, so lucky to have the group we have. Like, we have 4 guys on the road every night, every morning.
Yeah. How big of a crew is your, like what you would call your core group?
I would say the core group would be 6, I would think, 6 or 7.
Yeah. Would they hunt every day or?
Mostly, yeah, 5 or 6. Like there's a lot of times where there's no room or we're splitting up.
How big of a groups will you hunt?
Like
what's your max?
It'll all depend. If we got, we usually hunt 6, 8. You know.
I mean, we'd run 20 every once in a while just for fun, but not every day.
Ever ran, I think we did 12 one time, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
But, like the core 6 or 7 guys have most of the fields.
Right.
And there's 2 or 3 other guys that have a good chunk of fields, and they're sort of in and out. And and we split up a lot. And then there's, some of the guys go moose hunting, so they have friends from Newfoundland come back and hunt. And John Clemens is huge in Delta and getting the kids out. So, we're, trying to take kids out here and there and do stuff like that. But, there's a great core. And like I said, and you guys would know this, right? So and I know you went through it just like we went through it. So, our original group of guys, it just didn't work, right?
Right.
And, for various reasons, and whatever, it didn't work.
Yep.
And this group here, we've been going since 2012, I think, basically with this group, or 10 years. Never once have I seen a fight or argument. And the deal is, if I say, boys, yeah, I got 4,000 over at Kraswell's behind the barn, Matty and Leslie and, what's the other buddy's name there?
Julian.
Actually, Julian, then the other guy.
The Tiger.
Steve or Ryan.
Yeah, maybe Ryan. Yeah, we weren't friends on Facebook, which I thought was weird. And anyway, we connected there a couple of weeks ago. If I said, boys, I'm taking the guys here, it wouldn't be a peep set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nobody feel out of sorts or sucking or nothing. Yeah, well, that's your field. You go do what you want, right? Take who you want. And because we all got our own field. So somebody says we're going to go here and somebody's going to go here, or the newfies are here. Well, the other half, let's just go somewhere else. It's not like we don't have anywhere to hunt.
Right.
Yeah.
And we want to have fun when we're out there, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Our group is kind of like a revolving door.
Yeah.
Other than Julian, who doesn't obviously live here. I mean, you and I are the only ones that have been still at it since 15 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
No one else is still doing it with us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple guys that go the odd time, but
yeah, it's funny how your group's going, and it hasn't really been because there was any falling out. It's just people's lives get busier.
Yeah.
Right? Guys that used to come up and hunt with us every weekend, every Friday, Saturday.
oh, this is a hard racket to maintain too.
Yeah.
It's
Just
not
you guys got young, still got kids. And
yeah.
young kids,
Oh yeah, for sure.
sport. And I went through that back, and and Maddie, you'd know this. I sort of was out of the whole hunt test game for 10 years.
For a long time, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was judging and running Devil and Master the first time I judged you and Otter.
Yeah.
In Moncton. That'd be 2010?
No, that would have been
12, 13?
13.
13.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah. That 2013 is 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frick.
23, take away 10.
How'd that happen?
Just like that, right? And so, that's sort of when I went through my, divorce. And, the kids have grown up now and they're gone. And,
How old are your kids?
Well, I have two stepsons. One of them is a fighter pilot in the Army.
Jeez.
Air Force, and he's 27. And my other stepson's a journalist in China. You can believe that.
Yes.
And
That's different.
My stepdaughter now, in my second marriage to Stacy, she's 26.
Yeah, my kids are getting older. Mine are, they'll be, 20 and 22. What the frig?
Yeah. I got 15, 13, and 7.
Yeah. And that's, that for me, it's sort of a lot, basically did what I want for the last 10 years, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But, business got good and you hire the right people and grow it. And,
yeah.
Mm. How many employees have you got there now?
Well, in the summer, we'll run probably 12 or 14 full-time and 40 to part-time.
Yeah.
In the summer.
That's a lot of people, man.
Yeah, it's a lot to look after.
Fantastic job. She's 26. She manages 50 cleaners, 50 summer homes, 50 owners.
Wow.
100 things. Yeah. And then my wife Stacy she manages our long-term division, which is apartment buildings and condo buildings and shit like that. And
you sit back and hunt every day.
Well, I still do all the billing, and I pay the bills, and I get the money in and invoice, and I sort of oversee stuff. I still look after the landscapers and stuff like that, but we all sort of do our thing. But yeah, I'm sort of his shit hits the fan, I sort of have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Or if we got an asshole client, I deal with it.
And there would be a lot of that with that many people, you know, just trying to get people to show up, and, you know, that'd be a lot.
Well, just work-wise, you know, to me, like, it's good I have the girls as a buffer, because I just fucking fire people. Like, fly the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And you know, where they'll work with them a bit and whatever. And same, it's not so much staff. Like, we just can't get staff, like anybody.
Yeah.
There's just a labor shortage, right? I don't know where the fuck everybody went. Like, all this
sitting home on friggin' welfare.
They must, getting welfare, getting whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so our biggest, you know, the biggest issues we have is idiot people that rent cottages and, you know, make up stupid shit. And, right? Like a couple, 2 or 3 last year, just, okay, leave. I want my money back.
Yeah.
Not a, that's, right?
Well, I just get into renting
Good
cabins.
Luck August and PEI.
I just get into renting cabins there with the outfitting business, like in the off season. Right. Holy shit balls. What a friggin' mess that can be.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And right now, like 210 units under management.
Yeah. That's a lot to deal with.
And you know, 90% of them are great. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even higher, 95% of them are great. But you get some fucking doozies sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
you don't remember the good stuff. You remember the guy that wiped his ass with a hand towel and left it on the floor, and you're like, what in the name of tarnation are you doing? Just stupid shit. Yeah. Like, what the frig?
Fucking people is unbelievable.
Yep. Unreal.
Yeah. It allows me to do what I want to do. And you know, the best part for me is I was out when I had to retire Maggie 2-3 years ago with diabetes, when she near died there that day.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had 2 seasons with that dog.
Yeah.
I haven't had my own dog since I was 16.
Yeah.
Like, I just fucking lost my mojo, and then just getting Jax back and training every day. But, you know, just back in that hunt test atmosphere and training group. And, you know, it's just been a blast the last couple of years.
And your club over there is stellar, right? Like, there's a lot of guys that are in the same boat as you. Like it's an amazing club. All the boys have gotten dogs now. The next guy has really got to get one. And I don't know if he listens to this, but if he does, he should know who he is over there that needs to get a dog too. So get back in the saddle. Get back in the saddle over there. It's time.
Yeah, well, I think too, like, you know, now we got the Master National, right? So in 2024. So, you know, there's a lot of excitement.
Is that coming to PEI?
Yeah, we got it.
Yes, sir. I didn't know that. Never heard that. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we're just starting. So I'll be in touch, boys, for free shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We will give you a beer can koozie.
You will not.
And a tank top.
Yep.
And a fucking thong.
Yeah.
Might even get a custom visor made for you.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I'm heading up the fundraising and committee. So we're just going to get some shit together now and start raising some money now. And we're going to try and have a real good auction this year, Matty, in our August test. And
looking forward to it.
Hosting a good night here at Maggie's on Saturday night. And just to kick it off, because technically we can't fundraise until the last bird drops this year.
Right.
But we can still fundraise. Right. And so we'll do it this year and use all our contacts. And Barry Keeks is home now, moved to PEI, Keeksy. I'm sure you've seen him on some of the videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Buddy, I went turkey hunting. So he was with Zinc and Avian X and Pattern Master, and he's with Pattern Master now too. And,
right on.
He just lives like 10, 15 minutes away from me now. And so he's got tons of connections still all through Ontario and call makers and certain people. So, we'll be looking at doing some hunts and getting some pretty cool stuff for the auctions this year and really big time next year, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
definitely. That'll be awesome.
yeah.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that too, about your history with Sync and like how that all came about. And I know that you and I pro staff for Avery at the same time, and those were magical years. That's when the waterfowl industry was really cool.
That was probably the best years. I
think so. And a lot of people say the same thing. The DVD years were the best, but anyway, how did you meet that guy, anyways?
So how, you know what?
Paul's good at sucking that dick. I'm just joking. I'm being a dick.
No, that's all right. You be it. I enjoy that.
Feel free to fire away.
There was a guy, he had a dog company. So this is back in 2000.
Yeah.
2001. And it was called the Fieldworks. And he was out of Ontario and he wanted to get in the Maritimes. And somehow he got my name and he goes, listen, I want to sell dog stuff down there. And back then, like, you had to order, can't even remember, like Gun Dog Supply in the States or
right.
Like there was nowhere in Canada to buy dummies or anything, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, this guy started this called the Fieldworks. And that was sort of the time the Delta chapter was starting over here with Glenn Gillespie and those guys and myself and so David Roy would come down.
That was the heydays of waterfowl in the Maritimes. We had calling contests and Delta waterfowl dinners and Ducks Unlimited dinners. It was awesome.
Yeah. So how Avery came about, so I sell him that. So then David Roy approached me when, at the dinner and the calling contest, said, hey, I'm going to be the distributor for Avery, for Canada.
Yes, sir.
He storefront then, right?
Right. Yeah, he did, yeah.
With his outfitting business. So he was going to be, so basically I was a sales guy down here. So setting up dealers who want to be a dealer. He was the distributor. It just started like that. And then,
you were the basically Atlantic Canada rep, aren't you?
Well, basically that was it. Yeah. And then, so basically that led to, I got a call from Mike Hungle, who was the pro staff manager for Canada.
Yeah.
And hey, you interested staffing for Avery? And I said, yeah, fuck, sure. Like, I didn't no idea what it meant.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, well, here you get this and this. And
that was a big thing in those days to be an Avery pro staffer.
Well, they knocked it out of the park, right? And then
yeah.
When you're with Avery, then you're automatically a Zinc pro staff, basically.
Yeah, they had all the best guys.
Yeah, and they went through a little bit of a time. Stahl was there, and some other guys, but they ended up at R&T. And so then that just, it took off and got to go to in 2008 to the pro staff convention in Memphis.
Yeah.
So you got to Brad and Justin Tackett and John Stevens and Jimbo. Like you're just walking around going, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and these guys, like other than Tackett, who was a dick.
Really?
He's a fucking dick.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I take that aspect because 2 years later, he fucking sent more shit up to me for the Foul Life and what was his show called? Water Dog. And
Water Dog TV.
He just walked around like his shit didn't stink.
Oh.
King of shit at Turd Island.
Good to know. That you always wonder that about these fellows.
Yeah, but like guys like I had drinks with one of the nights with fucking Chris Aiken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't meet a nicer fucking guy.
He's so good, man. His content is just the best.
Yeah, like and Jimbo, like coming off an elevator, and there's Fred, right? I never met him. I never even talked to him.
Yeah.
Never emailed with him. Like you would never, as a staff, have contact with Fred.
No, that's right.
And he come off thing and he looked, he goes, Paulie, hey, fuck, welcome to the staff. Right? It's just like, fuck, how does he know? Right? But everybody's on the internet, so I guess you're gonna know.
Yeah.
You tag on with your shirt, I guess.
No surprise that he knew you though, Paul.
Oh, I know, you're kind of a big deal. He saw that visor and said, holy shit.
He said that guy doesn't talk like us.
You were the OG island boy.
Yeah.
I had a visor on too.
Last man standing at the drinking party.
It's the whole. So we're there for like this is a funny story. So I was talking to Rob Jepson about this because he was the pro staff manager where Mike Hungle looked after the Canadian guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like Friday night, we got fucking. And who was my fucking roommate? Fuck, I can't remember. Anyway, I couldn't get up. Missed all the morning sessions. Come down at lunch, because they're having lunch. Jepson just looked at me. He goes, "Don't miss tomorrow. Freddie's talking." I said, "Okay, no fucking problem. I'll take it easy tonight." But missed the whole fucking morning session. And then the next morning, and the coolest part about that, I remember for a couple of years, Avery had fucking huge paint issues. Right?
Yes.
Box of black duck decoys, and all the fucking paint would be on the bottom of the box when you opened it.
Yeah.
So Tom Matthews was supposed to do the keynote address on Saturday morning.
Also crazy.
Yeah, Tom's crazy. Nutty's a fucking fruitcake, right? Didn't show up. So Freddie had to get up and speak for 3 hours.
Pooh.
Freddie spent 190 days in China that 1 year.
Holy frig.
Just so basically what was happening is when it's painted, it's supposed to acclimatize and dry for I can't even remember. Say it was 48 hours before it was boxed up and thrown on a container where it's going to be hot as fuck traveling across the ocean, right? But Avery got so big so fast.
Yeah.
And there was such fucking demand for it. Tom was like, ship them. As soon as they're painted, throw them in a box and ship them. And that's what caused the paint issue.
Yeah.
Right, and fucked them over.
The process just wasn't being done right.
Yeah.
And so, it was fixed within a year or two and back on track, right? And so, yeah, and it was great that way because I had a different role. I get to manage all the dealers in the Maritimes.
Right.
So you just get a shitload of points for, if I went to Halifax with the wife for the weekend, stop here, stop there, stop here, stop in Amherst, stop in Truro. I just made like $700 in points on the weekend.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
Mileage. And so it was a fucking great gig, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, geez, man, there's hardly any hunting stores left.
No, and that's the thing. So
you got Natchucks is still there. I mean, the gun dealer, and then is there Young Guns in Halifax? That's still going?
Yeah, that's still going. Yeah. There's one on the island there.
Yeah.
There's Island Guns and Gear here, and then Duncan and Danny's shop, but they don't really do much anymore.
Yeah.
And, other than the taxidermy. And there's Gone Fishing. He doesn't, he's a fishing shop. There's Island Guns and Gear and stuff, but it's nothing like it was.
No.
Years ago where everybody had Avery decoys and then Avian X decoys and blinds and fucking shells and anything you needed, right? Was at these stores. So there's really nothing like that anymore.
No.
So I did that up to 2009. I got a call one day and I look at my phone. It's fucking Ohio. Who the fuck do I know from Ohio? So I pick up the phone. It's Fred. And he goes, "I'm leaving. Here's what's happening. I'm going out on my own. I'd like you to be one of my 8 Z unit guys in North America."
There you go.
He goes, "Same deal. Nobody else has your deal. You just look after the Maritimes for me."
Yeah.
So Johnny Christian Gianni's going to be my distributor up there. He's got Quebec. Barry Keeks was with them. And they tried to get a guy out west, but it just never worked out there.
Right. Yeah. Which is no surprise, really.
Yeah. So there's Christianity and me were Z unit guys, and then Barry was a pro staff. And they had other pro staff in around Ontario. But, basically, I think Freddie called everybody personally, which would be 150 people. "I'm leaving and going out my own. You can come with me. Just want to let you know."
Yeah.
And so I said, "Yeah, fuck, great." First year, got to go and film, and that was the first time the A-frames were out. Tootsie had all the AFX decoys, the flocked ones. He had them the year before to prototype, right? So they had the round base.
Right.
And so when we were doing that, it was funny. Like, me and Johnny Cristiani, I flew in and Johnny picked me up at the airport. So we drove to Tootsie's, which is fucking close to 3 hours from Toronto. And we pulled in there, and Freddie's in there with, Tootsie had like 4 groups of hunters there, right? And Freddie's right in the middle of them, talking to them, tuning calls, having a great time. Comes out, and then, you know, you couldn't meet a nicer guy. Just a down-to-earth, loves to drink fucking rum and rye. And when you meet those guys, like Aiken was the same way, and Jimbo's the same way.
Yeah.
You know, they're talking to you, how's your wife and kids? How's your season this year? How many black ducks can you guys shoot up there? Like, just genuinely curious of your background and where you're coming from.
Yeah, just want to hear your story. I mean, I always felt like he was, I've never met the guy. He's one of the, I've been lucky enough, certainly going to the Worlds to meet a lot of those guys because, a lot of people are down there at that time. Yeah. But I haven't run into him yet. But I'll tell you, like, if you've been in the waterfowl industry for any amount of time, like when greenhead gear decoys hit the market, that turned the tide completely around. It just completely changed everything.
It was like Bigfoot in the 80s, right?
Yep.
Just fucking turned it on its ear, right?
Yep, just a complete game changer, and he's never stopped.
Yeah, like, and then, Avian X, and it's like, okay, like, what's next, right? And it's not just decoys, it's all the blinds, the blind bags, camo patterns, clothing, like chokes, ammo, and, just an amazing mind, right?
It gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing mind. Have you watched, you want to see some great insight, have you followed the Fowl Life podcast?
I watched his on there.
Okay. Have you watched the 3 Fred did in 2001 with Belding and Skip Knowles, the editor of Wildfowl? There's 3 of them. One's on blinds, one's on calls, and one's on decoys. They're about an hour and a half long. And you want to talk about insightful.
Yeah.
Right? On, talking about, just how things progress.
Yeah, I just don't know where, he's just so smart, I just don't know where he comes up with this shit,
Yeah.
Some people just have it.
Yeah, like he's always, I feel like at every turn, he's like, okay, well, you like that? Wait a few more years. I got something else coming out,
He says that in 2001. He says, supposedly at the shop, no, I've never seen it. I've never been to the shop, but the shop's just a building now, right? But supposedly at a shop, there was a room with new stuff being developed. And he says 2 years ago, a year and a half ago now, it's only 2023, a month in, but he said he's got ideas on the next progression.
Really?
Right?
That's what I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go from here.
Yeah,
I mean, we got a couple ideas, but I think as far as revolution goes, man, the huge steps forward that it took in that era, I don't think we're going to see that again. I can't think of anything.
He says that, and you say to yourself, like me and Keeksy were talking about it, we had like 400 AXF fucking flock decoys out for a couple of days. Lessers, honkers, my honkers, which are older, been hunted hundreds of times. Barry's got a newer bunch, newer lessers, and you're looking at it, go, how do you guess? And people say, oh, fuck yeah, Bigfoot. No, there's no fucking better looking decoy out there in natural light than an AXF honker. Just my opinion. Not because I worked for the company before, not whatever. I don't care. You can't poses like the AXF honkers and the AXF lessers have 21 different head poses.
Yeah, he was
right. 21 different head poses. So that was done intentionally.
Yeah.
So that it looks different all the time. right?
I think about I've said it for a while now. I think the next biggest thing or revolution in waterfowl hunting that I can think of will be movement in the spread, and not just like moving around like decoys that swivel around, but like decoys that like move.
Yeah.
Like
Cover
really,
ground. Like literally cover ground type of deal.
or something like that. Like that. You guys ever use the X flapper?
No, I've seen it.
Yeah.
We've got a couple. Like they work,
Yeah.
right? And just because it looks like a flag,
Yep.
right? It's not like the fucking Lucky Duck one doesn't. We tried. It doesn't fucking work, right? It's not natural looking.
Right.
Where the X flap half natural, and it tucks wings when it closes and stuff. But yeah, like I don't. Where do we go, right? Like, we just had another evolution in clothing with Sitka in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've really, geez. I mean, think about it before them. I mean, they come onto the market and it was like, boom.
They were
Right.
smart because the technology that they're using has been out there for a long
Forever.
time, and just in different things like mountaineering and like hiking and backpacking and that kind of stuff. Like in that world or whatever, that's been around for a while.
So the key to them, right? When I started buying their stuff, the key to it, you have 25 pieces hanging on the wall here, but there's nothing. You take your bibs and you throw 4 or 5 pieces in the truck and leave them there. You're basically set for the fucking fall.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can,
Yeah.
they get up in the morning and go, oh, fuck. You just reach in the back. Like that and the Delta wading jacket and the layering system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, pulling away from those great big 3-in-1 parkas and heavy insulated bibs and all that shit. You can't move. You look like the Michelin Man.
I know. Like, and like, I'll tell you right now, like my Hudson, I've wore 3 times.
Yeah.
Right? Like the fucking thing's too warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful fucking garment, right? But
I didn't even buy one.
Under your Dakota hoodie?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fucking you're not as bulked up.
They've got it. That's the thing, right? I mean, everybody wants to be warm, but
And dry.
and dry, but you shouldn't have to be dressed up, like you said, like the Michelin Man to do it.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
one thing about that is, I mean, the layering system is just not something I think we're just not used to it as waterfowlers. I don't think we really ever had that option.
No,
like that.
we never did. Like I said, before this, it was like I said, the big 3-in-1 parkas and big heavy insulated bib overalls, and like you wore a cotton hoodie underneath and a t-shirt under that, and some hardcore guys wore wool.
Yeah.
Like,
If
you
they-
know what I
if they-
mean?
At least you could breathe with wool underneath it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
you'd
don't
stay
know.
warm if you got wet.
Yeah, quarter zip sweater from Browning, and fuck, you wore that thing under a shell and you're golden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I think Columbia and Cabela's come out where they had those zip out liners where you wore the zip out liner 90% of the time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
What
But the
company was it?
jacket, right? If they just left that jacket as a shell, once you zipped it out, but it used to be insulated.
Yeah.
Right.
What
You zipped
company
over-
was it that their big promo, they'd have the material the jacket was made of, and it was draped down, and they filled it with water to show that it was waterproof. What the frig company was that? I can't remember. All the sportsman shows, you'd see that they'd be draped over like a plastic container, and they'd have it full of water, showing that it was waterproof. I mean, that non-breathable garments. I mean, you might as well wear a friggin' garbage bag. You're gonna be soaked from sweating your balls off anyway.
Yeah, like
Sounds like a
and that-
lacrosse thing.
It wasn't lacrosse. It was, it was some sort. It was a clothing brand.
Yeah,
I can't
I
remember
remember.
what. They weren't
and-
around for a real long time.
No, and the, you look at it like you have the base layer, then you have the lightweight hoodie and pants, and you go there and set the decoys up, and just wear the grinder hoodie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then go throw something on over it after.
Well, that's the thing that I love, man. Like, I carry a big bag with me, same thing. I mean, it's not even so much the weather for the day. It's the temperature change from 3 or 4 in the morning to 9 or 10 a.m. Like you're going from could be -5 to +10 or +15. So to have all those layers, jeez, man, you can't beat it.
You're 3 or 4 degrees and you're putting fucking hundreds of decoys out. You're putting blinds together and
exactly.
You walk half a kilometer to the truck and back, and you come back, and you're like, fuck, you got a little lather on. If you don't have breathable shit on, you're just going to be cold.
Yeah. Or even the ability to take layers off without the pain in the ass of zipping in a shell to a interior layer and all that bullshit. Like, man, having the layer system like that and it being thin and you're still maneuverable, it's one of the best things ever.
That, and you know the other piece that's fucking warm is that you have that the heavyweight hoodie.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Holy fuck, man, that's warm.
It's stupid warm.
And it's more fucking windproof than the fucking Gradient hoodie.
Yeah.
Like
man, it's good stuff.
Oh, it's just, you can wear that until fucking the end of October.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't preach it enough, especially like I said, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. The older you get, I mean, you get colder easier, you get hotter easier, whatever, right? Like you're just, to be comfortable and not bulk right up and stuff and just being able to shoot and move so much easier. Frig, you can't beat that.
And like you said, I throw 3 or 4 things on the fucking floor of my truck, the back seat.
Yeah.
They're always there. Right? Chance of rain, my fucking poor Delta Wade jack, I need another one now. I've had this one for 5 or 6 years. I just take it. If I think it's going to rain, I fire it in the fucking corner on the ground.
Yeah. See, I went with the Dew Point Gore-Tex shell.
I got that one too. Yeah.
Oh, it's friggin' awesome.
It packs up so small. I can throw that right in my full choke pack, and
man,
it starts to rain or you get a little bit crispy out, cold or a wind. It blocks the wind. Waterproof.
I wore that a bunch this fall, actually, just because it was it was warmer out. Like we had a warm fall.
I wear it still now out snowshoeing.
And fuck, man, like I actually wore it a bunch dog training this summer because it's always raining, or it was this year. And fuck, man, when you put that on and that water just beads off of that, holy shit, that's nice, eh? Yeah. It's nice to be dry and it be breathable.
And it's cut nice too, right? I'm thick.
Yeah,
it's cut like I'm thick through the shoulders and the chest.
Yeah,
and it's cut nice. Like I have that too. Like that's what's in early, right? I don't have my Delta early. That's it. And that's you get that in that green or coyote or whatever the fuck color it is.
Yeah, you
can wear that down to the Lions Club for fucking roast beef dinner or something. Man.
Hell yeah, yeah. They've got a lot of really nice solids. A lot of the stuff I wear is Sitka.
Yeah. My favorite piece, boys, is the Aerolite hoodie.
Yeah?
Oh, unreal.
Yeah.
Like brown now come out this year. Of course, I'll have to get the camo version come out in the March this year.
Yeah.
So you have to spend more money, but it's just a hoodie, and it's like.
I just ordered that actually. When you said that, I was like, the Aerolite, is that the one I just ordered? But yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I had it in brown. I've had it for 2 years now.
Oh yeah,
and it's warm as fuck and not bulky and like same thing, right?
Yeah,
just fits great. And that I wear that probably. I wear it until I can't wear it.
Right.
Right. I wear it until it's too fucking cold.
Yeah.
Right, but it's windproof and for something so thin, but it's like all their stuff. It's so goddamn warm.
Yeah. Hell
it's
yeah.
So God. But that was the big evolution. That was the clothing evolution, and now you see.
Well, and thank God,
Yeah, like First Light's coming out. Like, yeah, well, good for you. You got some great players, but if you're not Gore-Tex.
Well, and it's not bad that there's other companies out. Like competition breeds new products and innovation, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You never know. So I mean, they're more in the mountaineering, like Western hunting scene, but
yeah, sure. And they're trying to jump in that market, which is great. So we'll give them up. And supposedly they're coming waders this year, so that'll be, add something to the mix. And Jimbo going to Drake.
Drake, yeah.
Well, supposedly that's they're going to turn it on its ear. to try and compete with, because Sitka basically took over, right?
Man,
For the herd
they own the market.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah,
Well,
they marketed that properly. I mean, they got good gear. So
Well, and they got in first,
yeah,
like big time first kind of deal. I know there was other companies out there doing it, but I mean, they marketed hard and they were getting in there first, basically.
yeah.
And that's a big key.
Yeah, no question. And if you get some of these other guys get in there, like Jimbo was with Sitka from the get-go, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden he's vice president of development with Drake.
Yeah.
So, you know what's going on there. They're going to jump in, right?
Oh yeah, they're going to try to get in the mix.
They're going to try to come back, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to believe that Cabela's and Bass Pro don't jump in too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And try and offer something, right? But and their waders, you guys have their waders?
No, we never hunt water. Like never.
Yeah. Well,
I got
used
a pair of Cabela's Ultimate waders from friggin' 15 years ago.
They just hang in the closet.
Yeah, I don't think I've had them on in 5 years. Well, I guess
I've had
once
mine.
in a while.
Yeah, I've had mine for 2. Jack's never hunted the water once this year.
Yeah.
Right, I hunted 5 times last year. Went scouting 5 times. Had hundreds of birds and creeks and different little, marshes I used to hunt all the time, and got skunked 5 times in a row.
Yes, sir. Fuck.
So those waders have been in the water. It was funny. Butler was giving me a hard time there. We're shooting ducks there at the end of the year, and he's always teased me about the waders, how they fucking never get used, right?
Yeah.
But I wore them to the field one day.
What is
Butler's,
There you go.
well, at least it's fucking raining.
What a fucking gem that guy is.
Isn't he a fucking beauty?
He is, man, and an excellent dog man too, like a real good dog handler.
The most underrated, not talked about, smartest dog guy in America.
I couldn't agree more. Him and I trained together before the pre-national for the one in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And what a great bunch of days we had together. Yeah. He's a super intelligent guy, really good handler.
Super intelligent guy. Yeah. Super intelligent. And he's the one that got me onto Gosling from and Sitka. Because he bought it all first, and we're just fucking giving it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our boy, Desert Storm. Nice right? And now, of course, right?
Yeah, everybody's got to.
Yeah. And if they don't have it, they want it.
Got to join the cool kids.
Well, I'll tell you, right now, there's 2 people, that over here, and I'm out of it for 10 years, right? So, not real confident getting back, but I made damn sure I did my basics, and I did them twice, and they're fucking rock solid.
Yeah.
And if I ran into something, it'd be Butler or Wally, right?
Yep.
You call those 2, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll set something up and work on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you think of this, Dave? And what do you think of that? And and it's just like
very thoughtful trainers, and it's not like Butler did it for 40 years and trained 200-300 dogs. Like he's just a super good handler.
15 years ago, maybe, right? Like his original dog River was when it would be just before you, Matty, came along. It would be River and my Devil and Lady, Walter's Lady. Like that was that crew. Todd with Matt, who ended up being his brown dog, ended up being the amateur field dog Cormier's, and so. But he just followed Evan Grant SmartWorks to the T, to the T, right? And loved him. But Joel McDonald, same thing. He just followed the program.
Another great guy. What a beauty he is.
And we're lucky enough to have all these guys in our group.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, just a hell of a group. I'm envious. I'm jealous.
Yeah, like we go out. You got Colin Cairns, who's turned into a great young trainer, right?
Yep.
Like fantastic young trainer.
Yep.
Sean McNutt, who's lives 2 minutes from me. Like we get out there last weekend, me and Sean and Troy McKenzie, another one.
Yeah.
Like, we got 8 or 9 guys that are going hard. We got some new blood coming in. Elmer
McInnes.
Elmer McGinnis got a new pup. Joel McDonald got a new puppy.
Yeah.
Sean's got young Scout. I got young. We got a little crew moving up from senior to run master this year too.
Yeah.
Do you guys have much snow over there right now?
The what?
Do you guys have much snow over there right now?
Yeah, it's more ice, right?
Yeah.
We don't a lot. We got it, we lost it, and then we got it, and we lost most of it, and then it fucking froze.
Yeah.
But me and Sean went, basically drove around for 2 or 3 hours just to try to find 100-yard fucking bare spot that wasn't icy, just do some drills.
Yeah.
Right? And
we're shut down here. We got snow.
Yeah.
She's bad.
But now you look at Monday, like it's minus 42 in the morning here, and fucking by Sunday morning it's +1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy
And
weather.
Huge temp swing.
And it'll melt and be more icier that night when it freezes again. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's what it is, right? We'll be able to get going when we can get going and work on some other things with Jax. We can do some stuff in parking lots.
So, talking to dogs, what got you into it and why Chessies? Let's hear it.
So when we were the old crew, so who I grew up hunting with would be Todd Cormier. And
so is this when you're a kid or like a young adult kind of deal?
16.
Okay, yeah.
He had a dog. Robert McIntyre got a dog. Derek Dahl got a dog. All labs, right? So I was looking for one, couldn't find one, and just noticing the Chesapeake Bay Retriever there. Well, fine. And there was more of them around then, right? Than there is really. And there was some around. I said, oh, fuck. Right? Like you didn't have the internet, you couldn't do it. So I just couldn't wait. I went and fucking got the Chesapeake.
Yeah.
That's 39 years ago.
And you just fell in love with the breed, eh?
Fell in love. And back then, Matty, they were just starting NARA here.
Yep.
And it took off, right? So as good as our club is,
yeah,
there was 5 other clubs in the Maritimes the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody was willing to put the work in.
And the social fantastic, and and a lot, we were just learning then, right? Like,
yeah,
we didn't know, but we were like 17, 18, and we had master hunter dogs,
right?
Called senior hunter then, and in NARA, right? But and then so I had that dog. Mac was my first Chesapeake, and then when I was 22, I was in Toronto for 7 years. So I get home.
Ew, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I moved. I was a youth worker, so when I graduated, when I was 21, I think, or 22, and moved to Toronto. So I was in Toronto from 92 to 97, 98. So 6.5, 7 years.
Yeah.
And so when I come home, I think 99 maybe, I put, he was 14, so yeah, it'd be like 99. I got another one then, which was Homer, and he had 4 master passes as a 2-year-old.
Yes,
and
sir.
Dropped dead pheasant hunting as a 2-year-old.
Really? What happened there?
They don't know. They did 2 autopsies at the vet college for free, and because they were amazed, like they said, what the fuck happened.
That is
so they
weird.
did. Yeah, we were sitting there, and we're in this thick shit, and he was on a pheasant, flushed it, and I shot it. It might have been 30 yards away from me. He went over. You're sort of wait. You know how quick they are, right?
Yeah.
Homer, here, come on. And I figured, fuck, I thought I killed that. Maybe he ran, right?
Yeah.
So I walk over. He's fucking laying dead there with the pheasant in his mouth.
Man, that is wild.
Fuck.
And they couldn't determine what happened to him.
So all they said, they described it like young athlete syndrome, where sometimes there's just a heart arrhythmia that was never detected. It just clicks, and they drop dead.
I
Wow.
wonder if that was like an EIC thing, like exercise-induced collapse.
But all his tests, he never tested for it. Now, I don't know 20-some years ago, did we test for EIC?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? So maybe that was it.
I think that never came. Well,
So
I think Lean Mac was the one who spread that around mostly.
Yeah, and we trained hard all the time, and there was never an issue, right?
Right.
Like, and usually you would have seen that come up sometime.
Right. Yeah, if you were training, for sure, absolutely. It wouldn't just be a fluke once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, and so they just said he must have had a heart arrhythmia that was never detected and dropped dead. And so I got another girl. I had another pup then. I was bringing up Cassie. She went to, she got her senior, and then it was around that time that sort of got married, and kids were young, and, I was in and out of it a little bit. And then I was basically out of it, till Devil came along, and he had 4 master passes, I think, with, not near the time I should have put into him, and soft as fuck, the poor bastard. If you had to get on him and anything, you had to give him happy bumpers for 2 weeks to get him back.
Hold a grudge on you.
Oh, just not a grudge, just sucky. Just wasn't pissed at you. He was just soft, right?
Yeah.
No confidence, and yeah. So until and then Maggie came along, and I got Maggie through her senior, and business was busy, but I always, like, her basics were rock solid, and she, I was getting to that point. I was hunting a lot, but just couldn't. We're so busy in the summer, I couldn't really be around, hunt, test, and couldn't do both, right? And have the business and do it. So, but every year we did swim by in September and got her ready for hunting season and did that. And she was, she picked up thousands, and, until, then, all of a sudden out of the blue got diabetes. Like, that was that. It's one of Coates' videos. It's a Thanksgiving video from 2019, and we were shooting 11 guys, and we had a one shot deal in this field, and we were going to try and shoot 55 geese. And anyway, the farmer called a 35 and shot us down.
Yeah,
some cows had moved in behind us.
I remember that.
And she was just, I thought she was hurt. She couldn't get up, panting. Took her to the vet. I said, do whatever. Do x-rays, do ultrasound, do blood work. They come back that her fucking blood sugar is like 36.
Jeez.
Supposed to be like 10.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like, he said, you would have picked up, she had fucking went for a long run, she'd be dead.
Yeah.
Right? And so anyway, she's been retired. She's still kicking, but, unfortunately the end's near. Like, she's got, like most diabetics, she's gotten big sores on her feet, and we looked at getting them removed, and they're attached to her toe. You'd have to amputate her toe. We're not fucking amputating her toes.
Yeah, no.
This age, so
not gonna cut her down. No.
Yeah, and she's starting to, she'll be sitting there, and she just her head will start bobbing, and she's blind as a bat, right? And but she's still hungry and eats, and still puts the fucking Jack's just terrified of her. Like, she still runs the show. She can jump up on the bed still, but she's having these episodes almost like she has a seizure. She just sort of lays down gently.
Oh yeah.
And is out of it for a minute.
Huh.
And so, anyway, time's close. It's coming, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
And then
sucks.
and then got Jack's at just perfect time, life wise. When I had the other ones, it was marriage going downhill. If I can starting a business, kids are young, you just can't do it, right?
Working 36 hours a day.
Yeah, like, start your own business. And
8 days a week.
Now it's like, I can spend every day with Jax, right? And he's with me every day, and whether it's going for a drive in the truck or doing whatever, and we're having a great time. So,
how long have you had your business, Paul? Just a little side note here.
I quit my job and cashed out my pension when I got divorced in 2008. So, 15 years.
So what were you doing before? What was your job?
I was a youth counselor, like a youth worker with the school board.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was in Ontario in group homes for 7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I worked at school board. Yeah.
Quite a job.
You know, yeah, I was, you know, I had no empathy left at the end of it by 2008. Like, rather reach across the table and choke a kid than fucking.
Yeah. Especially
You know,
this day and age.
Yeah. And it's exactly this day and age, right? So it was just the start of that shit. And I can remember I had a couple of kids we're dealing with who didn't have a chance in hell because their parents were my age and I knew their parents and they're a fucking disaster.
Mm.
And it was just like, you know what? And I knew the guy that was doing what I was doing out here. And he was the only guy in PEI doing it. And I go, you know, he's got a good business model, but there's a better way to do it.
Mm.
And so anyway, we get divorced. Me and my current wife, Stace, said, let's do it. Right? She worked full time up until she's been full, you know, she's been with the company out full time for 6 years probably.
Yeah.
6 or 7 years.
So it took you some time, took you about 10 years.
Yeah, you know, takes 10 years, right? Because, you know, you're paying off debt and then you're investing more and you're more and more. And, you know, and then it just, things just start working out, right? If you stay
It's
out.
such an up and down, you know. Like,
Money in, money out.
It really is. Like, even with my business, like Jeepers, you know.
Yeah.
It's such a, you just never, the first few years, like this is year 5 for me, like, you just never know how the year's going to go away. Like, you could have a whole bunch of people that want their hunting dogs trained, or you might have a whole bunch of just obedience dogs, or you just, you know, you just never know.
Yeah, and then what if the fucking motor blows out of your truck? And
Then what do you do?
Yeah, well, that actually happened. So,
yeah, happens all the fucking time. Right?
Yeah,
he doesn't actually know?
No.
Oh, yeah, the motor literally blew in his truck.
Yeah, that actually just happened in my truck in the fall.
Oh, fuck, are you serious?
Yeah, it just had just over 200 on it. And
I thought you knew.
And it blew.
You said that.
And it blew, and they rebuilt the top end, and it went again. Well, they didn't fix it.
Well, they didn't fix it. They didn't fix it. They rebuilt the top end, but not the bottom. They didn't even look at the bottom
They
end.
never even looked at the bottom. So,
Are you serious?
How long did you have it before it was like tunk, 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 tunk?
about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It got me through guiding season, thank God. And then, they had it since the first week of December, and I just heard back last week.
Yeah.
That it was toast.
And now what's sitting in the driveway?
Yeah, so I got a new Tundra.
Oh, did you? Good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
just went out,
I just got a new Silverado, the trail.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I
sand
saw
color
that
one.
too.
Yeah, like my Ram was like, well, it's a nice truck, but like the fucking front end went, you know, and which is normal in those Rams, like the gas, and the steering rack went, which is normal. So fix that, like $13,000 in a year.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, fuck this shit.
My truck was constantly in the shop. Well, I mean, I had to do the maintenance on it because I had that box on the back. So, you know,
right.
It's got to run.
Yeah, no, that's the thing about business, right? But, you know, when you get it there, Matty, and you have those, you know, when you're making a living at it, you can do what you want to do. There's nothing better.
No, and that's the thing. Like, you spend the first years of it just, you know, making money, investing things, buying stuff, spending money on things that aren't investments, like repairs, things like that. Like this for me was not part of my plan. Like, I wasn't really supposed to get a new vehicle for probably 3 years, I figured, right? Because I own that other truck, but you know, that's not the way that it worked out. So I mean, I just you know, you got to do what you got to do. You got to get one, and you roll with the punches, and
it is.
And away you go. You keep on grinding.
It's just such a bad time to buy vehicles right now. Holy frig.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Well, I went mine in, right? So a buddy of mine owns the deal. Well, used to own the dealerships and sold out to Steel Auto Group.
Yeah.
And he goes, Paul, you get 23, 24 for your truck for a joke. He goes, but I can't give it to you on a trade. Right? Like sell it price.
Yeah.
Right. And so the most they're going to give me was like 15, 16 on the trade in, which would have paid out was on the loan and whatever. And I just said, well, and like the thing about having the corp is fucking corp bought it. Like fuck that, right?
Yeah.
Corp can go buy it because when you start doing the math, interest rate, you go buy used right now.
Yeah.
Interest rate's 0.9.
It's brutal.
It's the same. There's two banks here, Royal and TD, that had a deal on for 6% on used vehicles for 2 years, and then they said it was going to go back up, but it was like 9% for a used vehicle.
Yeah.
Unreal.
And they've ordered here well over closer side to 400, I bet now, vehicles for people. And Toyota's only going to allot them like 250.
Yeah, these are sold vehicles.
These are sold vehicles. Like there's a shitload of people that aren't even going to get their 2013 vehicle this year.
2013.
2023.
2013's 10 years ago, by the way.
Yeah, that's what my truck is, 2013. Yeah.
To clarify that earlier,
Yeah.
the Toyota dealership here the other day had two, not Tundras, but the fucking smaller one. Tacomas.
Yeah.
And no Tundras. There might be 5 new vehicles on the fucking lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Woodstock. The new vehicles are sold before they get here.
Yeah.
Like what was it, Matt? They had the one that you bought and then 2 more on order.
They had
and then they were already sold and they're not even here yet.
Well, they had a Platinum coming in, and I actually think it's there because when I drove by today, it looked well. There's a truck sitting there. I don't know what it is, but it looks kind of fancy, so it might be a Platinum 2023.
Yeah,
not 2013, 23, and it was available at the time, but I think since then it's been sold.
It got sold after you were in there.
It was $91,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
insane.
Yeah.
So the truck I got is a 2022. It's brand new.
Yeah.
But it's a 2022. Interest rate was like 2.3.
Really?
Wow.
And
Holy crap.
3 is 25,000 more, and it's 3.49.
Holy jeez.
Huh.
You should have bought 4 or 5 of those trucks.
Yeah, like exact same truck, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like 60 grand all in.
Holy cow.
And it's like, so the other one's getting all gussied up. He's at the detailer now, and I'm going to take the mechanic, and I'll just say, do it like it's inspection, get it ready.
Yeah.
And it's got the cap on it. It's got the box slide in it. And
Those are nice.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of value in having a cap on your truck. I really do.
I'm getting one for this, like, especially like dog training in the summer, keep them out of the heat.
Yeah.
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 And just
Out
get
of
a
the
little
wind.
I'll tell you, boys, if you watch some of those upland hunters and their trucks, man, they've got her dialed in. They got some friggin' wicked setups in their trucks.
Like in this truck now, there's an actual like fucking plug. So if I want to I could plug like a portable air conditioner in the back of the fucking truck.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
Fans, anything.
Anything.
This fucking thing, Paul, I can start from my phone.
Yeah, well, that's same. I'm trying to get it figured out. Something messed up, but same with me. It's like mychev.com.
Yeah.
And I can just go in and I say, oh, I'm out here at Maggie's. I'm going to leave in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Hit the app and start the truck.
Yeah.
You know what I found? I had a little bit of trouble with mine. You got to make sure the doors are locked. There's a button to lock your doors on that app too, and if they're not locked, it wasn't starting for me.
Oh, okay. I wonder if the Chev's the same.
Could be.
Yeah. But I something screwed up with I got to go in and change some stuff or delete the app. They said and go in and try it again. So, but anyway, no, I'm happy with it. Fuck, rides nice, and looks sharp. I like the color. And anyway, I'll have that for 7 years.
Yep. Look good with some of that red mud on it.
Fucking right. You know, there'll be all kinds of mud on it this year.
Yeah.
Mud and blood.
Yeah.
Mud and blood, but yeah, be a busy year. Like Coatsy's coming up again next year.
Is he?
Freddie,
He's spent
That's an annual trip for him.
He spent a lot of time there this year, eh?
He loves it. Yeah, like he comes up for 3 weeks now every year.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're down there in January.
He's such a good guy, man.
Fucking awesome guy.
Like
awesome. Like you couldn't meet a nicer guy, and you just couldn't meet a nicer guy.
You just couldn't.
Funny.
He's just super. His positivity.
Yeah.
Is contagious.
And funny, and laughs, and because when he first started coming up, he'd say, "Oh, like you, fuck Paul, we stop fucking cursing all the time." And we had Drake TV up here one time, a bunch of fucking donkeys, and couldn't fucking film to save their life. They're sitting there, and nice guys. Don't get me wrong, nice guys, great guys actually. The guys that film, but they're more like big game guys filming, right? And I spent 4 or 5 days with Fred and them filming, right?
Right.
I'm going, boys, and like they're flaring birds all the time. And I looked at Coach, I go, what the fuck? Why are these fucking birds flaring so much? And Coach goes, fucking camera guy. So we look, and they want it to be in the blinds, in the A-frames with fucking 8 guys.
Right.
And standing up before we were standing up to shoot. Right? So, and we were in a hedge, perfect. I said, boy, listen, why don't we build you a fucking nice blind right here? Like right here, you just sit there, you're right behind us, you're 4 feet behind us.
Yep.
You'll see it. Right? No, we're good here, And it's just like, what a shit show.
Yeah.
But, like Coatsy comes up every year, loves to, drinks rye, man, like nobody I've ever seen.
Yeah, he likes his ground, doesn't he?
Unbelievable. And I've seen him, and in all fairness, Coatsy, he just drove like fucking 20 hours. One of the first days, the next day after he arrived, I think maybe it was Field of Dreams or shooting with the Newfies. No, shooting with the Newfies first day. And we come back to Maggie's, and he was ready for bed at 3:00. Karen took him home.
Yeah.
But any of that, you're like, as soon as you're done shoot, let's go to Maggie's, right? And come on over. We're gonna make some food, and So anyway, we get to go down next year. Excited, me and Woody and another buddy of ours, Ben, are going down, and Fred West, who was up this year, who's a big farm on the Eastern Shore, and he's taking a snow geek. So we're shooting. I think we're going up on January 24th and shooting like Brant and cans and stuff with Coatsy, and then going and shooting snow geese openers the February 1st or something.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and then a bunch of us are going to Saskatchewan.
Nice. That would be a good trip.
October. Yeah, and DUTV and Fred are coming up at some point in October. They're supposed to be here this year, but the hurricane screwed that.
Is he with them now?
He's one of the hosts on DUTV.
Okay. I thought Field Hudnall was doing that.
Oh no, Field hasn't been there. 4 years maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, Field's with Sitka, right? So once Drake came on,
right,
Field walked. Yeah. So it's Fred and that Doug Larson guy, and I guess that's the only two now. Wade Bourne passed away, so.
No way.
Yeah, he passed away last year, I think.
Yes, sir.
So they're doing that. So they're supposed to come up they're supposed to get here on Friday before opener, shoot opening day. We're going tuna fishing on Sunday, shoot Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then they were flying to Montreal and shoot with Johnny Christian Ziani for 3 or 4 days, which they did this year. They were able to go to Montreal and shoot, or Quebec and shoot with Johnny this year. So that'll be on DUTV this year.
Yes, sir.
So busy little stretch there, mid-October till then, and plus the boys, that they moose hunt with will be over and stuff. But anyway, that's all good, all good.
Yeah, for sure.
Great to connect with Freddie again and hang out.
Has he ever hunted there with you?
No. There was one other time, I can't remember. Something happened. Maybe it was right around the time when it was an AVNX TV were going to come. Yeah. We kept talking about it, just never worked. And it was around the time Fred bought his duck club, and so he wasn't going very far.
Right.
And he was and Don was sick, right? And so Freddie didn't go too far there for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So now, he's back out and traveling, but like they thought they could come back. The other guys on the film crew could come up November, I don't know, it's like say November 11th to the 15th. But Fred wasn't leaving the farm because that's when all the ducks are there.
Yeah.
Right.
Prime time.
Yeah, so that was next for him. So we're working now with Johnny Gordon. You remember John Gordon, Patty? At Avery?
No.
So Johnny Gordon would have been the guy you should have dealt with to get your stuff in Memphis. Or one of them, right? Him or Stephen Pitt.
I was going to say, yeah, Stephen Pitt was the guy I dealt with quite a bit.
Yeah. So John was the other. There was two of them. It was him and Johnny Gordon.
Okay.
So Johnny is now the director of communications for DUTV.
Okay.
Right. So he books all the hunts and
everybody just rolls around. They stay in the game.
Yeah. So they just go somewhere else, right? Like Jeff Fafa Shelby and those guys from Fred Soul. They all went to Mossy Oak.
Yeah.
And are doing their stuff, and they're all great guys, right? So Fred was going to try and look after them.
Yeah, because,
because the two companies, like Plano was a disaster to fucking deal with, and this new company that bought Plano out, it's a disaster. Like, trying to get stakes for extra stakes, and can't even get a fucking call back, right? So, but here's what it is. We'll get to do it this year. I got that little tootsie sort of thing with a big bottle of Crown there. So whenever Freddie gets here, we'll crack that and have a little tootsie. And
yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah,
left us too fucking soon, and he was supposed to be coming down. So when Fred was coming down to film, and Keeksy was going to be here, so it was going to be like a little get together. But
right,
yeah, so. That's why you live life now, boys.
Absolutely, man.
Hell yeah.
I freaking work to live, not live to work.
Yeah, none of this wait till I retire bullshit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like you wait to retire, you're probably waiting too long.
Yeah, and 100%.
In our group, like myself and Junior, like we're fucking 55. And, Keeksy's in early 60s. Johnny Clemens in his early 60s. Time to start doing that stuff.
You got to start recruiting young bucks to pull the weight for you.
Yeah, we got some young guys there too.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, guys we brought up and like Matty Dixon and
Gav,
Gav McAleer and those guys. Gav's away mostly guiding now, but he gets home like late November, so he's around and actually never got to hunt with Gav this year.
Another beauty.
What a beauty. Yeah, his dog's doing some good.
Yeah,
Matty's doing good too. Bo's doing really well.
Is he?
He had a good season. Yeah, well, Matty, Walter helped him with force fetch and that before he took off for Texas last year.
Yeah,
and then Matty did walking fetch and did 3-handed casting with him. Then sort of got away from it. Then he revisited it before hunting season, and yeah, Bo did good. He's steady most of the time, and. He collar conditioned to the dog blind, and which I think's the best steadying tool in the fucking history of the world.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Collar conditioned that dog blind and never fucking move, right? Yeah. Never move. Like some people let them step out of it, long as they don't go and stuff. Like Jack says no, he's not allowed in it.
Yeah, they're good. That offers them a good barrier. I saw somebody made one this year that's got a trap door on it, eh?
Fucking Lucky Duck or somebody or
yeah.
Dakota.
Yeah, I feel like it was Dakota. Yeah,
I did see that.
Like a trap door that would fall down. You lock the dog right in there, basically, so they can't get out or something.
Yeah, that to me that's like tying the dog up. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Pull.
Yeah.
Right. You still haven't taught them to stay if you got to lock them in a fucking box.
Yeah. True.
Right. And, they just learn, they learn so much. Are they going to break? Yeah. Sometimes they're going to break. They all do, right? So,
yeah.
But at least, if you got a tool to correct them and do that, you're
switched on and you got it there and you're ready for it.
Yeah. And you ease them into it. Like Jack's never hunted a full crew till mid-November last year.
Yeah.
I'd take him with Butsy or or somebody that had a trained dog, and we just take turns shooting, right? And and just taught him. Jack's picked up 200 or 300, but he probably watched 500 or 600 hit the ground, and wasn't allowed to go, right? And just teaching them, you don't get to pick everything up that falls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's an important part.
That's a big thing. Non-retrieves are good
Yeah.
training in themselves.
Yeah, no, especially you got 8 guns or 10 guns or fucking,
Mhm.
you guys, 15 or 20 guys, right? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It sounds like a war
done
right
that
there.
a couple times. Yeah.
holy fuck, that fucking, when you did the video, when you were down the blind,
Yeah.
Yeah.
laughing, holy fuck.
Yeah.
What you have? You had 20 that day?
18.
18 that
We
day.
had like 22 planned, but it was when the damn hurricane was coming through the tail end of it,
So people.
Yeah.
and a lot of people backed out. They're not
Yeah.
But
waterproof, right?
we had the right field. Like
Yeah.
we were trying to get 20 for 100.
Yeah, but one day earlier would have, man, she'd have been wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great hunt anyway, but
yeah.
You're mad. I like you imagine shooting 100 geese.
Yeah.
Like I shot 100 snow geese or close to it before.
Yeah.
When we went up there 4 or 5 years ago. But we shot 80 the first day or 90.
mm,
And Maggie picked them all up. She was couldn't hunt the next day.
that's a big morning. I
she-
think our
there was-
biggest day was when the very first early season we ever had, wasn't it like 97 or 98 birds or something? It was close. It was in the 90s.
No, I thought it was last year when we had 20 guys. I thought that
Maybe it was.
I thought last year we had, how many did we have that day? 87?
Maybe. No, I'm pretty sure we broke 90 that very first year, early season, in Heartland there, behind Tim Hortons. And that was Terrace Field. Or it was out back of Heartland somewhere. Remember, the geese were literally landing on our layout blinds.
Yeah.
Like, they were so stupid, man.
Oh,
They'd
yeah.
never, ever been shot at in our life. Like, they were literally landing on our layouts. I mean, we were friggin' chopping the heads off of them. They were so close. And we murdered them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some 40-40 on ducks and geese. And,
That's a big day.
Right? But we're usually running a couple dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that bad, but you got one fucking dog picking up 80 or 90.
No, that's too much.
Yeah, it is.
Too much.
That corn, have you hunted Quebec? Like their corn is like potatoes. It's road, like, you know what I mean? It's road like in deep rows.
Huh.
Really?
So like Maggie was tore up underneath
Yeah, I bet.
from running out, like, and yeah, we just left her home the next day
Yeah.
and
Let her recover.
we're staying, yeah. And then like the last day, we had a field with like, I don't know, 50,000 snow geese or something. Max goes, we're like, if we did, and they were calling for like 2-3 centimeters of snow. He goes, we don't get the snow, boys. It'll be the best thing you ever seen. If we get white, if we wake up with white, we're fucked.
Right.
We woke up and it was white.
Yes, sir.
I left and it was fucking freezing. It was like late November. And I stayed in the blind till 12 o'clock. I said, Corey, give me the fucking keys to the truck. Where are you going? I said, I'm going to the fucking truck. I'm done.
Mm.
These cocksuckers, there's hundreds of thousands of them landing over there in another field. They're not coming here.
Yeah, they're tough, eh?
Yeah, like when they go like that. And,
Where
and
were
Max,
you, Lac Saint Jean?
Is it Trois Rivières where they're right in town in the big lake?
That's Lac Saint Jean.
Oh, maybe
Trois
that's it.
Rivières is right above us.
Yeah, that's
Right. No. So yeah, it's
Closer.
down closer to Montreal. So yeah. So wherever there was like a city.
Yeah.
Because I have a video. We're on a park bench, and they said, "Well, this thing is 3 kilometers long and a kilometer wide," and it was white. Right. They figured there's like 250,000 snow geese there, or 150,000. How the fuck you'd ever count, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was just, yeah, I've never seen anything like it, right? So but yeah, we had a blast the first day. They were coming great. And, he said if we had any wind at all, we would have shot 200 that day with the wind. It was just, they were getting over us with no wind.
Right.
And
We've run into
Right.
that. certainly with candles.
Yeah, and getting over the top of you, and then you're fucked, right? So anyway, no, it's looking like a good year this year. Lots going on, lots of birds around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when are you guys getting over here anyway?
Just say when.
I got 2 cots here in Maggie's pub for you.
Oh
There we
God,
go.
I gotta come over and spend some time.
How about late season? Because we usually freeze up late or early.
Love to come over and spend some time with you, though.
Mm.
Yeah, later in the year, we're like anytime from November on, it seems like, once
Yeah,
October's
wanna get
done.
Shoot 6 blacks and 5 geese, right?
Yeah.
You see, we get down to do you guys get down to 3 geese after November 15th?
No, we don't
No.
play those games here.
We're 5 all the time.
It's just
I
fucking
know.
shoot 'em, boys. It's a Wild West here.
Fucking stupid, right? Like, why,
Yeah, I don't know why.
we're all
they do
one
that.
zone. It's all the same geese, right? Moving around.
Yeah.
Why are we different? Why do we have 28 less days than you guys?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
which supposedly is changing, but we'll see if it changes or not. But if you get over like the first or second week in November where we can still, like, fuck you, shooting 3 geese, you're fucking done the first volley,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or you're picking up 1 or 2 and you're done, which is fine, right? But you get here a week before, you can shoot 5, and usually by then we get all, everything's cut, we got our ducks figured out, and what fields we're going to and stuff, and that's really changed. I don't know if you guys see that, like, ducks are going like better times. They're not coming.
Honestly, man, before this fall, like we basically had no ducks.
Yeah.
We would see a huge jag of ducks in early goose season when we couldn't kill them. They would completely shut down, and then there would be one more big push of ducks that were right just in front of the ice. Basically, that was it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, man, like we never shot frig all for ducks.
Now this year it was just like it used to be.
Yeah.
Like
You could shoot limited ducks and geese in the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we had fucking ducks, man. They're still here everywhere.
Really? I mean, we're froze
different.
solid here now.
We have some ducks here, but they're living in shit lagoons.
Shit lagoons, yeah. Eating in parking lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting now with this freeze, right? Because there was snow down, but it was soft enough they could still get in and muck around the corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say. Well, the black duck, a lot of those ducks will stay and just grub on mussels and shit,
Yeah.
and until they take off. But I would say any geese we had left, they'll be gone down to Cole Harbor or wherever the fuck they're going.
Yeah.
I don't think they go too far anymore.
I don't think they do either. Why would they?
Yeah, go down. You can go down the South Shore of Nova Scotia and eat eelgrass for a month, and then head back over here.
Yeah.
You should see the ducks in Halifax.
I can imagine.
Hundreds of them. I mean, people are feeding them, and
Yeah,
the water doesn't really freeze there. So,
Yeah.
and if it does, they just pop into the harbor until it thaws, and
Yeah,
away they go.
they're all down through that corridor, Shuby and Amherst.
Yeah, like Shuby, and then there's the one over by the Micmac Mall there. My word, man. Ducks like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, my buddy Glenn, they had a great year on ducks.
Yeah.
Great year on ducks. So, yeah,
Well,
boys. Anything else?
I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover.
Yeah, that's been a great one, man. We're 2 hours and almost 20 minutes, so hell of a podcast.
Went pretty smooth, didn't it?
Not bad, eh?
Oh yeah,
I want
got no trouble
drinking whiskey
talking.
around the table, though. Do it real.
Yeah, hell
we
yeah.
should,
Yeah,
for sure.
What place is that where you do that?
Record the podcast?
Yeah. when
Usually,
you have
usually at my house.
we just do it right in the
okay.
basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Cool.
We'll send you a picture. We got some pictures here tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And go watch those. You go if you do
The lesson, the podcast, was it? Or
3 that Fred did about calls, decoys,
Yeah.
and lines,
Yeah,
and the evolution. Pretty cool shit.
for sure.
Yeah, just he's just like, he says some stuff that you go, oh fuck yeah, we do that. And he
Yeah.
says, oh yeah, fuck, maybe we should be doing that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And how it started and how things work and how the decoys, evolved, how blinds evolved.
Yeah.
It's
We're
a great,
definitely always thinking about the next best thing, trying to figure out what it is.
well, like, who was it? Danny Farmer on the porch. with Judy Aycock. When you think you know it all, you're as dumb as you were when you started.
Yeah, fuck yeah, old Danny Farmer.
Yeah. Doesn't win a bit, eh? Holy fuck.
Fucking guy.
Well, man, she's been a good one.
Okay, boys. That was great.
Yeah. Thanks very much for coming on, eh? We really appreciate you.
Oh, fuck, boys. I was fucking nervous as fuck all week. I won't lie.
You know what? A lot of people are. They are a little nervous because they don't know what to expect. They think it's going to be like a rigid interview, and then we just get on and shoot the shit like we always do.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, I know Coatsy wanted me to go on one with him and Damien at some point.
Oh, yeah, you definitely should.
Now you're an old salty veteran now.
Yeah.
Did we pop your cherry?
Yeah, you took my fucking cherry.
There we go.
There we go. Blood all
fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I said to Coatsy, I said, do it here. Let's do it here then. Podcast. Do it at Maggie's.
Fuck yeah, that'd be awesome.
We'll set it up. So, okay, boys, I'm going to pour another drink here and head over to the house.
Right on, brother.
Sounds good, man. Have a good one.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a million. Okay, chat later.
See ya.